Hello and welcome to APHA TV News, presented to you by the American Pharmacists Association. APHA is dedicated to moving the profession of pharmacy forward, providing tools and programs for today's pharmacists, and developing new and innovative practice models for the future. APHA is working with legislative and regulatory bodies, pharmacy associations, payers, physicians, and other healthcare providers, and many other groups to drive connections with all healthcare providers, to maximize quality patient care, and to advance the role that pharmacists play in the delivery of patient care services. The profession of pharmacy is diverse and vibrant, making now, more than ever, an exciting time to be a pharmacist. APHA is leading the profession by engaging its members in advocacy and educational programming. Antonio Neves was on the scene to see APHA members taking part.
Your voice, our profession. That was the theme at APHA 2012 yesterday. In the morning at the second general session, the focus was on how your voice is helping to get pharmacists recognized in our nation's capital.
If every pharmacist in our country made a political outreach contact, that would be 300,000 outreach contacts. If every pharmacist convinced one patient to do an outreach on their behalf, that would bring the total up to 600,000 outreaches. Then, if every pharmacist would also just get one physician or other healthcare professional to advocate for the pharmacist's role on their team, that would result in a total of 900,000 outreaches.
It's very important that what our needs are heard in Washington so that we can better take care of our patients.
Rear Admiral Scott Giberson of the Public Health Service.
On this day, on this stage, on this venue at APHA, this is where we have impact. How are we going to make a bigger impact and be of better value to the nation? We have to set the tone. We are healthcare providers. Last I checked, we provided patient care. Last I checked, we provided health care. I think that makes us healthcare providers.
Sunday afternoon, it was time for future pharmacists to take the stage at the ASP House of Delegates. These students are learning to use their voices to help advance their profession.
Student pharmacists are the largest stakeholders in the profession of pharmacy. One day, all the student pharmacists will graduate and become pharmacists, and the decision that the House of Delegates is making now directly impacts our future and our career and our practices.
Strong leaders discussing the changing landscape of pharmacy, compelling speakers sharing important insight, and the recognition of the achievements of our APHA peers. Those are some of the highlights from Day 2 of the APHA 2012 convention. Here again is Antonio Neves with the details.
APHA 2012 kicked off on Saturday with an opening keynote from the executive editor of Wired magazine. Attendees geared up for a jam-packed weekend with awards and over 80 education programs, with the key theme being leadership.
To me, one of the other great profound changes with healthcare and scale has been biotechnology and chemistry. It's the industry that you are all in. And it starts, obviously, with this idea that if you can synthesize drugs, if you can synthesize vaccinations, if you can create simple chemical, biological tools that you can kind of package and distribute to people, well, then you can improve lots of people's lives.
This is an incredible honor, actually, to be having been recognized as the federal pharmacist. I consider federal pharmacist a privilege to have worked with all these years. This will be my 30th year in the VA, and so most of my career has been in service of America's heroes.
The opportunities for leadership currently in pharmacy are tremendous, because with the Affordable Care Act, the whole industry is changing. But it takes a community, it takes a village to develop a leader. And it starts when someone's in school, in the College of Pharmacy.
It's my chance to give back. Leadership development, I wouldn't be here today if I hadn't had so many mentors and great people that helped me become a leader.
In my experience, there has never been a previous opportunity in which there has been a greater need for the skills and the expertise that the pharmacist has.
Perhaps never before has the profession of pharmacy been so exciting, and APHA is leading the profession by engaging its members in advocacy and educational programming. Our reporter Antonio Nez was on the scene as the APHA 2012 convention got underway and saw how excited and happy everyone was to take part in the stimulating activities.
Even before the APHA convention officially started, the Federal Pharmacy Forum was in high gear Friday morning. A New Orleans jazz band greeted members as they registered for APHA 2012. But the real buzz was all about the convention.
I'm really excited because there's lots of educational opportunities, networking opportunities.
We do have about a dozen students who've traveled from Atlanta, Georgia to attend this meeting, and we also have faculty members on staff, and so they're all very excited.
Get to speak to some possible employers in the future and kind of see what's going on with pharmacy.
It seems that everyone here knows that whether you're a pharmacy student, a School of Pharmacy faculty member, or a practicing pharmacist, that APHA is working hard to drive connections and transform patient care.
You know, I believe the biggest stride that APHA has made over the last year is its ability to convene and or support collaborations within the profession and outside the profession.
As the gavel came down to open the 2012 APHA House of Delegates session, Speaker Brad Tice was focused on moving the pharmacy practice model forward.
Whether that's learning about pharmacogenomics, whether that's implementing medication therapy management or pharmaceutical care or however you want to call it, but it's really about establishing themselves as the practitioner that can really help patients the best.
A vast number of those attending APHA 2012 are PharmD students. But whether you're a student or you've had a long-term pharmacy practice, staying current on the latest in education is critical.
I consider the APHA annual meeting program to just provide a wealth of opportunity for pharmacists in any area of practice. There are topics on drug therapy. There are topics addressing new practice roles. There are topics regarding traditional responsibilities like compounding that some pharmacists have turned into a specialty. And there's something for everyone.
When it comes to collaborating with the bodies and agencies that shape and create regulatory and legislative policies, the American Pharmacists Association is at the forefront. They are also leading the charge to make sure pharmacists are recognized as healthcare providers and compensated for the growing number of services they provide. But APHA says to win this fight, it needs the support of every member and the support of stakeholders across the country. Here's a look at how the APHA team is working for you.
Founded in 1852, the American Pharmacists Association has a long, proud history of working to increase awareness of the role pharmacists play in patient care.
The mission of the association is to help our members, empower our members to improve medication use and advance patient care.
We believe that when pharmacists get involved in patient care, and specifically medication management, costs go down and quality goes up.
The 2011 U.S. Public Health Services Report, Improving Patient and Health System Outcomes Through Advanced Pharmacy Practice, states performance research has demonstrated that patient care services delivered by pharmacists can improve patient outcomes, promote patient involvement, increase cost efficiency, and reduce demands affecting the healthcare system.
Pharmacy's really transformed from a primarily dispensing role to now one of cognitive services and helping patients understand how to take their medications appropriately.
That U.S. Public Health Services report goes on to say pharmacists should also be compensated through additional mechanisms commensurate with the level of services provided.
Under the Social Security Act, the only people that can bill for their services are people who are providers under the Act. Pharmacists are currently not listed as providers. Most pharmacists that I know would rather be dealing with patients than dispensing, but you can't get to that point unless you have some type of viable payment model. APHA recognizes that and is doing a lot to get pharmacists paid for their services.
Surgeon General Regina Benjamin publicly supported the report's concepts and recommended compensation models reflective of the range of care provided by pharmacists.
It's really significant that one of the highest ranking medical professionals in the U.S. government is supporting the role of the pharmacist as a healthcare provider. So from the APHA perspective, we'll be using the report in our advocacy activities when we go up on Capitol Hill.
At APHA, we have a number of tools in our tool belt that we use to influence. The Key Contacts Network is a critical piece in that tool belt, and they're the people who make that connection to their elected official, build the relationship, and is one of the only things that can actually move an issue up on Capitol Hill.
The recently enacted healthcare reform bill set up an entity within CMS called the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Innovation. They have $1 billion, and what they want is not net new, brand new things. They want to know, what are pharmacists doing right now that works really well? They want to take that, replicate it, scale it up, and spread it all across the country.
New healthcare business models are creating opportunities for pharmacists to take on additional provider roles.
Some of the business models that we're seeing success throughout the country are where pharmacists are being integrated into the healthcare team and being a resource and being utilized to help patients manage their medications.
There's a ton of opportunities for pharmacy in all of these areas. Pharmacists have to show their value, have to step up and explain to other members of the healthcare team the value that we bring to the table. And things like the Surgeon General's report and other studies that have been done by the APHA Foundation, like Asheville, all demonstrate the value of pharmacists. So the future's ours. It's up to us to make the most that we can of all these opportunities and new things that are happening in healthcare.
Indianapolis-based Butler University College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences traces its origins to more than a century ago and is known for producing graduates who are outstanding practitioners and agents of change in their community and practice setting. In 2006, the college received a $25 million grant from Lilly Endowment Incorporated and used this grant to support a number of public health initiatives, as well as construction of a 42,000 square foot addition to the pharmacy and health science building.
In 2006, when the grant was written, there were needs for new faculty and new facilities.
The grant has affected just about every single faculty member and staff member. This is one classroom and is a part of our 42,000 square foot new addition.
And that included research labs, offices, and some new classrooms.
So I'm pursuing both a Doctor of Pharmacy and a Master's in Pharmaceutical Sciences here at Butler. And I chose to do that because I know that when I finish with my education, what I want to be doing is research and drug discovery.
The grant has allowed all of our instructional and research labs to be either remodeled or built new. This research lab, for example, is completely new, and its design allows collaboration, and all of our researchers are together in one place in our college.
With funds from the Lilly Endowment Grant, the university decided to expand students' focus to develop them as broader participants in the nation's healthcare.
So the REACH project stands for Resources to Enhance the Achievement of Community Health, and it was originally started by a mapping of pharmacies around the state, particularly with a focus on looking at them in rural areas and to see what the supply was and the access would be. And then from there we were able to start some student projects and actually look at how we could engage pharmacists in those communities to be more involved in public health.
Students spend the last year before graduation immersed in experiential education in a variety of settings. This includes at least 1 month on site providing care to the medically underserved.
Yeah, while working on my previous rotations, I had never dealt with the underserved population, and this was a very eye-opening experience to me to be with patients that didn't have enough food to put on the table and got laid off from their jobs.
One of the projects supported by the grant is the student-run pharmacy.
Well, the Butler University Community Outreach Pharmacy does have interprofessional relationships between Butler and 4 schools of Indiana University, and we work most closely with the IU School of Medicine students.
Butler College of Pharmacy was involved in the Indiana University student outreach screening from the very beginning. So we planned it together, and we had that idea of having an inter-professional team learning together. The main benefit for the students is that they do get to know a community. They become familiar with the needs of the community, and by engaging with the community, they become more compassionate and more interested. But also, it is an early exposure to clinical medicine. So there is evidence that this will make them better providers in the future.
When my husband retired in 2008, we lost our medical insurance, and I also lost my primary care position. So basically, I had no medical doctor, no medication to treat my high blood pressure, my diabetes, or anything like that.
The clinic is amazing. Our community is thankful, and it means going to a place where you're already accepted.
I've seen quite a bit of improvement on myself. I've lost about 20 pounds in weight, which is a good start, and got on the right kind of medicine, and I just feel a whole lot better.
I've had a lot of great experiences here at the clinic, and it's really prepared me to be an agent of change for when I graduate and enter the workforce as a pharmacist. So I'm really excited to take what I've learned here at the clinic and apply that and make a difference when I'm a pharmacist.
The American Pharmacists Association doesn't confine its advocacy and support just to civilian pharmacists. For years, the APHA also has supported pharmacists in the Armed Forces, Public Health Service, and Veterans Administration. This year's close coordination with the Federal Pharmacy Forum at the APHA convention is just one of the ways APHA helps government and armed forces pharmacists stay on top of their game with continuing education programs and more. The role of pharmacists continues to evolve beyond drug dispensing into patient care. This is evidenced every day at the University of Southern California School of Pharmacy. Students and faculty reach deep into the community to give homeless, mentally ill, and lower-income individuals access to the medicine and services they might not otherwise receive.
Los Angeles County has over almost 3 million people uninsured. And all too often, the only interaction with the healthcare provider they have is with our School of Pharmacy.
The USC School of Pharmacy is dedicated to improving healthcare for those in the community. One of the ways they meet this goal is with faculty and student involvement at a Skid Row clinic.
We are at the Center for Community Health, which is one of the few comprehensive medical homes that are just provide everything for any patient that comes in.
There's the pressure for doctors, especially primary care doctors, to see a certain number of patients per hour. And if a patient comes in with multiple chronic disease or they're on multiple medications, what we call polypharmacy, it's hard to spend 20 minutes and get every single thing that the patient needs to know. And what the pharmacist can do is actually take the ones that need education, need adjustments made in their medication.
So we get diabetes patients, hypertension patients, cholesterol patients, asthma, all these different chronic conditions where patients just are not reaching goal, and they're using up a lot of valuable healthcare system dollars. They're going to the ER a lot, they're going to the emergency, the hospital, and they're seeing the physician a lot and taking up a lot of the physician's time, when the real root of the problem is they're not receiving or using drug therapies optimally.
I went into a diabetic coma, almost died. Dr. Chen, I give him the credit for help saving my life. Because from him, I know how to count my carbs, I know my liptoids, all that. I know about eating well-balanced meals.
Chen's method was extraordinary because he would have me come in on a regular basis
and he had 2 assistants always working with him that were incredibly diligent. They made me test my blood 5 times a day to find out if my levels were going up, down, even the most minor adjustments that were needed.
It doesn't matter if the patient is homeless or not. I'm helping my community and I love it. When I see the difference after I help them, I see the improvements, I love it.
USC School of Pharmacy students reach deep into the community by treating patients in 80 languages, involvement in 60 health fairs, 12 low-income area clinics, and by volunteering in student-founded and student-run clinics like the Pharmacy Clinic in East Los Angeles.
A patient that I work with at the clinic, we were going through all of the different values that we could screen for, and we noticed that her blood glucose was just sky high. It was scarily high. And because of that, we referred her to a free clinic where she could get diabetes strips and medication that would help control her sugar levels. And I think that was an important moment for me and us at the clinic to see what an impact that we could make even on just one individual.
It's key, especially in a community like this one where people aren't really sure of what diabetes is or what having high blood pressure means. And so for us to be here and be able to provide not just the screening but education as well, I think is valuable to this community.
As health professionals, the school is also committed to providing materials that engage and impact behavior.
In the Latino community, telenovelas, which are essentially soap operas, are very popular. So we take that same format and we put it in a comic book format. So it's a format that people are familiar with, so they read it.
And as a result, thousands have been helped by them.
We believe that these kind of programs are, again, important. They're part of our DNA. They're things that we've been doing for years and years and years, and we will continue to do them.
When most Americans think of pharmacists, they think of people in white lab coats. But now more than ever, it's the pharmacists in camouflage who are making a difference. Since 2005, APHA has worked with the Joint Forces Pharmacy Seminar to keep the nation's armed forces pharmacists up to date with the latest research, industry practices, and drug innovation. This year's event, to be held in San Diego starting October 28th, will bring together more than 750 military service pharmacists to discuss the pharmacy issues vital to safeguarding the health of the people who protect our nation. Illegal drug abuse is a problem many communities face. The misuse and abuse of prescription drugs exceeds that for all street drugs combined except marijuana. To raise awareness, Ohio State University created the Generation RX initiative.
It's no longer enough to merely dispense prescription drugs. Today's advanced and complex drug treatments require a concerted effort to educate patients about the proper use of their medications. This is where the Ohio State University's Generation RX initiative seeks to make a difference.
The Generation RX is an educational and awareness program that is a series of learning modules and toolkits that we've worked together with the Ohio State University College of Pharmacy to educate a variety of different audiences: youth, parents, community groups, the elderly, caregivers, healthcare professionals, and students of pharmacy to learn more about the issue and hopefully call them to action to be able to help spread that message.
Generation RX initiative we really refer to it as a learning community. It's a group of faculty and students, mainly in pharmacy, but some other groups as well, like Counseling Center and Wellness Center, for example. And we're fundamentally interested in medication safety, learning more about that, and trying to develop resources to impact it, and specifically spending most of our time now on prescription drug abuse prevention. We know that there are kind of pervasive myths about abusing prescription drugs which need to be corrected. So we have data that tells us nationally that particularly young people think this is a safe alternative to kind of dangerous street drugs, as we think of it that way. But also that they often think that it's legal to use these products or that it's not addictive. So some of it is important just to correct some misperceptions.
In the 5 years since Generation RX launched, it's grown into a multi-pronged, high-tech education initiative attuned to patients' needs.
We come from an educational standpoint, so we are creating things that can be used to prevent someone from making a decision to abuse a prescription drug for the first time. The toolkits are basically designed, we created them with Cardinal Health Foundation to really be a turnkey set of materials that someone could pick up if they were asked to do some type of educational programming in their communities. And essentially it's a set of slideshow materials, talking points, question answer prompts that someone could pick up, particularly a health professional, like a pharmacist could pick up, and if they needed to talk to an adult group in their communities, they would be ready to do so. All of the resources would be right there.
Researchers have found that about 1/3 of prescription medication-related problems are preventable, especially among young adults. This is where the students and faculty of Ohio State come in to help.
So when I first started working with Generation RX, I just kind of wasn't sure what it was all about, so I was just getting my feet wet, and I started by helping to lead presentations with college students around Ohio State's campus. There are other schools around the nation being involved in the same kind of outreach, other colleges of pharmacy, and I think it's really important that the people at those colleges and beyond, students, faculty, members of the community get involved, and if we can all kind of collaborate and really get behind this together, then it could be even bigger and maybe more effective too.
One of the big issues in cardiovascular care in this country is the problem of patients not adhering to their prescription plans. This puts pharmacists on the front lines of cardiovascular care, as their actions to increase patient compliance can vastly improve patient health. Drug maker Daiichi Sankyo is working to help pharmacists in this critical role.
Daiichi Sankyo's legacy of innovation goes back over 100 years. It was the first company to discover vitamin B1. They also discovered the class of statins, which are so widely used today. And as an organization, we are committed to continuing that legacy of discovery, and by focusing our energy behind cardiovascular disease, because it still is one of the major unmet medical needs.
As a former pharmacist for the past 25 years, I certainly know that one of the biggest barriers that patients have and physicians have is that the patient actually fill their prescription.
Managing patients with cardiovascular disease is very challenging because patients usually have multiple conditions, and that means many patients are taking more than one medication.
Some of the major challenges for fighting cardiovascular disease is patients actually adhering to the medication that they're prescribed, as well as the fact that every patient responds differently to medicine, so you really need to make sure that there are multiple options to treat any particular type of cardiovascular disease.
But there are ways for pharmacists and the healthcare industry to help patients manage and treat cardiovascular disease.
We provide useful resources and information to enhance patient adherence. We want patients to meet their often difficult to treat cardiovascular goals.
Daiichi Sankyo is committed to helping patients fight cardiovascular disease. And we believe that managed care organizations, pharmacists, health plans, hospital systems all play a vital role in us being able to achieve it.
Well, I'm proud of the fact that we began a postdoctoral industry fellowship alliance with Rutgers University more than 11 years ago. The goal of the program is to prepare pharmacists for challenging careers within the pharmaceutical industry.
Pharmacists are in an ideal role because they are able to counsel a patient, find out what some other additional opportunities are to educate them, and Daiichi Sankyo has created and provided resources that help a pharmacist help a patient track their medication and also educate them about their condition.
Today, the role of pharmacists is expanding to help patients make smart healthcare choices. And in the future, this proactive approach is projected to grow even more.
As healthcare evolves, the role of the pharmacist will continue to gain importance. This is particularly critical as we move into the era of personalized medicine.
I see pharmacists playing an integral role in the future. With healthcare reform, there's new payment models such as accountable care organizations, and also with the focus on comprehensive care, pharmacists are an integral part, or can be an integral part, of patient-centered medical homes. So I see pharmacy really evolving and really moving to the forefront in managing patient care.
We believe the pharmacist has a key role in the management of a patient's health care because they are often the final consultative interaction before the patient takes a critical medication as prescribed by their doctor.
Pharmacists are really at the front line, and our goal is to help to provide them with tools and education for them to better serve the needs of patients.
Daiichi Sankyo believes it's important that the industry make it clear to practitioners that it is our mandate to provide accurate, balanced, truthful, and unbiased information about our products.
Daiichi Sankyo will help improve the lives of patients by focusing our resources, our people, our scientists on finding new ways to advance our knowledge in the treatment of cardiovascular disease.
Completing a PharmD degree is no easy task. The Chicago State University College of Pharmacy prides itself on its ability to provide opportunities for a diverse student body. It's 11th in the nation for most diversity in a pharmacy school. Many students have busy lives and families and find they get a pharmacy education and experience like no other.
Students and faculty alike represent very diverse backgrounds and cultures at the Chicago State University. The College of Pharmacy prepares pharmacists from these diverse backgrounds to provide care for a global community.
The university is really serious about embracing diversity. It's that diversity that pulls the learning communities together, because you have different individuals providing different elements to that whole discussion. And that's where learning really occurs.
If I had to describe the College of Pharmacy, I would say that it focuses on 5 pillars: opportunity, diversity, student-faculty engagement, curriculum, and experiential education.
Faculty play an integral part of the learning experience as they facilitate students in reaching their goals.
The faculty encourage students to pose questions and get involved in the material being delivered. It doesn't stop there. Beyond the classroom environment, we have an open door policy. Our doors are always open to our students. There's basically no barrier.
Our administration is always actively seeking new opportunities for us to flourish and develop, whether it be through networking or volunteer work or additional coursework.
We've formed great relationships with the students that have visited our offices. They've provided us with insight to things that we can do and change in our service delivery, and we hope that we've given them some information that they can take on in their professional life and use, real life skills.
In addition, experiential education provides opportunities for students to apply their knowledge and skills to serve the community's healthcare needs.
We've established a number of partnerships with community pharmacies, independent pharmacies, public health-oriented types of agencies, health systems, and an array of other different types of professional settings to make sure that our students get both the breadth and depth of experience that they need to become competent pharmacists.
It was what I observed at the site that had the most impact on me. With every patient that came in, I saw how much trust they actually put into everyone here and how grateful they were in the end. And it really made me aware as to how much of an impact these community services have on the healthcare field.
Chicago State provides students with the opportunities to succeed while managing their personal and professional commitments.
The college understands my situation of being a single mom, and I've never been penalized for skipping a class because I had to attend to my familial duties. And I actually have been given the opportunity to come to this institution by the Chicago State University, as opposed to other institutions who may have overlooked my application because of my unique situation. So I'm very blessed to have been given the opportunity, and I can go out there and be a pharmacist.
Indeed, we've been very pleased thus far. What we have put in place in terms of our cutting-edge curriculum, with it being very current and future-focused, with our students being able to provide culturally competent care and humanistic care, that indeed we're preparing our students for providing care and services to a global population.
Like almost every other profession, pharmacy has become more competitive for practitioners looking to land that perfect job. But help is just a mouse click away with the latest edition of the Pharmacy Professional's Guide to Resumes, CVs, and Interviewing. This book covers everything from how to write an effective resume to 20 pages of sample questions that are often asked during pharmacy industry job interviews. You can order this book from the APHA online store. Concordia University, Wisconsin has a long tradition of education and community service. The school was founded in 1881 with just 13 students and today has more than 7,600 students, all of them integrating real-world service with their education.
Concordia University, Wisconsin School of Pharmacy in the Milwaukee suburb of Mequon sits on 200 acres right on Lake Michigan.
Students come here and see it as a unique academic setting. One of the other unique things is we were able to develop our curriculum first, and then we were able to build the building to suit that curriculum.
They've designed the building from the ground up with the classrooms being set up so that we can work in small groups. We have a lot of project rooms where we can break in class or use as study rooms, and it really facilitates small group discussions.
If you go under file.
We've got the state-of-the-art technology in there. A lot of the equipment that we're using in labs we're seeing out at our hospitals and other facilities where we go on our rotations.
What are your expectations when you do go on a drug therapy?
In the applied patient care lab, students get their first experience learning how to interact with patients. They learn how to educate patients, they learn how to get a medication list from patients, they learn all of the skills they need to interact with patients in a real-world setting.
The faculty or other instructors are outside so that they're not in the way, but they're able to hear what's happening in the room, see what's happening in the room, and then give feedback.
So when students go out on rotation, they have the opportunity to interact with real patients.
Triglycerides checked.
Learn about the medications that they're taking and apply what they're learning in the classroom to a real life setting.
We have the students get out into the pharmacy practice sites early on in their curriculum, so they're able to experience pharmacy and see a pharmacist in different roles.
Every semester we have a full week that we spend in a hospital and a full week that we spend in a community setting. We can be anywhere from inner city Milwaukee to some really rural parts of Wisconsin, and you get to see all the challenges that people have, both in terms of acquiring health care that way and just in their day-to-day lives.
So far I've been
With patient-centered care, we're really looking to pick the right drug for the right patient at the right time for the right disease state. So not only understanding the drugs and how they work and the therapy behind that, but then really getting to know your patient and being able to select a medication that's most appropriate and works best for them.
I think that what Concordia is doing exceptional is preparing the students for how to learn and how to provide patient care.
We're very blessed here at Concordia to have both a supportive environment as well as curricular and extracurricular initiatives that develop leaders of tomorrow. We get to work with some great students, and when you're at a Christian university, you know part of the reason that they're here are because they embrace the same types of values that you do. They're learning that service orientation, they're learning to put their patients first.
When we get into a room with them, they're focused on exactly what the experience is and focused on the outcome for the patient and what the benefit will be for both the learner and the patient.
In our curriculum, we're trying to instill in them the ethic of lifelong learning, but also the ethics of care.
I'm continually impressed with how smart, how much background knowledge that a lot of these students come into our organization with a fantastic background on how to provide patient care and what the steps are needed to provide that patient care.
What my goal is to provide them opportunities that they can experience, especially for their 4 years here at Concordia, that they can experience different opportunities in pharmacy that they can take with them and develop into their lifelong careers.
Okay, so you're a newly minted pharmacist and you've just joined the APHA. Good move, but now what? Here's what some key APHA staffers think are the best ways to take that first step as an APHA member.
Any organization is only as strong as its members and their level of involvement. So APHA offers a lot of different opportunities for individuals, and that would be the first thing that I would look into.
Become an active member.
Be involved. APHA wants to hear from you, our members.
We have all kinds of opportunities, from serving on committees to participating in work groups,
whether it's to get involved with advocacy,
to getting people signed up on some of our listservs.
Pharmacy Today, our journal, the Journal of Pharmaceutical Science, we've got something for everyone.
Or whether it's to obtain education and training, or
understand the tools and resources that APHA provides to members.
Go to the website, www.pharmacist.com. We've got lots of information
on educational resources, upcoming meetings where you can go, network, make friends.
And it's the best way to connect with our CEO, Tom Minigan, on his blog.
They've got to find their own pathway in the profession, but we can help them do that.
University of Cincinnati Winkle College of Pharmacy is one of the oldest colleges in the U.S. Its innovative curriculum consists of interdisciplinary core knowledge courses supported by skills and small group activities. This College of Pharmacy sets out to provide real-life experience for its students by reaching out, building strong community ties, and improving the overall health of the population.
I looked at other pharmacy schools, and when I interviewed here, I just felt like I fit. I felt like the professors were really interested in me, and they were interested in the profession itself, and were very passionate. So I just felt like this was going to be a good fit for me.
The Winkle College of Pharmacy engages students in a rigorous curriculum that includes coursework, pharmacy practice, and skills development. This is in addition to an experiential learning program that begins in the first professional year.
Potassium was hypokalemic. The BNP was like super high.
Presentations like this, where we have students get together in small groups where they can focus on individual cases and get the opportunity to present them, give them kind of some real life experience as far as what they'll have to do in clinical situations so they feel comfortable doing it.
Research is important for us to keep us on the cutting edge of the fields that we're in.
We take pride in preparing students for the pharmacy of today, but of the future. And so, for example, we early on included immunization training as part of our program, as well as medication therapy management.
UC Winkle College of Pharmacy has a wide variety of training partners in the community, dedicated to providing real-world experiences for students.
We're fortunate, being an urban school located in the metropolitan area, that we have over 200 practice partners that are able to come into our college and participate directly in the training and education of our students.
Working with students and giving them the experience that they need to have a successful career, it's just part of the wheel. You need to have it. It makes the whole curriculum complete. It makes the student complete. It makes the practice of pharmacy complete.
So the college has a strong commitment to community engagement. We actually engage our students with the community at various points in our curriculum, both the didactic, experiential, and extracurricular.
With the goal of creating strong community ties, the Winkle College of Pharmacy is committed to serving the health needs of a diverse and changing population.
I've been very impressed by my advanced rotations this far. I didn't think I would have as many out-of-the-box experiences. I've been able to be in an ICU, an ambulatory care clinic. I've kind of been everywhere. I just finished a rotation actually at St. Vincent de Paul at their charitable pharmacy. So I kind of got to see a little bit of the indigent population as well. So I've had a great mix, and I didn't think I was expecting that variety to come out of my rotations.
Our students are very much interested in outreach, and Cincinnati is a diverse community, and so our students are very much involved providing pharmacy care to those in the community that are in need.
Currently, I'm running a free health clinic down at the drop-in shelter where we service homeless patients who suffer from acute and chronic illnesses.
Partnerships between the Winkle College of Pharmacy and community health centers create strong ties and enhance the mutual commitment to improve the general health of the community.
We're adjacent to University Hospital teaching space, adjacent to the Children's Hospital Medical Center. We're across the street from the College of Medicine, the Academic Health Center Library, and we're right behind the Veterans Hospital. We need to meet the needs of a diverse population. Our healthcare needs are changing. The population in which we deliver healthcare is changing, and we want our student body and our faculty to represent that diversity and be capable of preparing the students for those practice realities.
It will be interesting to see how much changes in a year. The APHA convention for 2013 is set to take place in Los Angeles, California. Make sure you're a part of it. The Ohio Northern University College of Pharmacy is one of the oldest pharmacy schools in the U.S. It's committed to integrating the study of genetic responses to drugs. In addition, medication therapy management, MTM, represents the new direction of pharmacy in the 21st century. Ohio Northern combines these two initiatives in a unique, on-campus clinic called HealthWise.
The Ohio Northern University Raby College of Pharmacy is the largest in the Midwest, with nearly 1,000 students enrolled each year in the Doctor of Pharmacy degree program.
We are the teacher scholars of pharmacy education. So we put a primary emphasis on teaching first, but we want to make sure that our faculty are also scholars. And it's that vision statement, the teacher scholar statement, that really helps us stay ahead of the curve when you look at what's happening in the profession of pharmacy.
ONU's on-campus clinic, HealthWise, provides support and education to improve the health and wellness of community members.
For your heart, clopidogrel.
The clinic gives enrollees access to knowledge about their health, which empowers them to make better choices.
And all we need is one cell, and then the lab can determine if you possess the genes necessary for this drug to work. The clinic provides an excellent opportunity for our students to have some hands-on learning experiences. I think one of the main advantages of our program is the convenience. We're located on campus, which cuts down on the need to travel for medical care, and we don't charge a copay to our employees, which eliminates the financial burden.
I've had a great experience here at HealthWise. They've really helped me out a lot, and I've taken full advantage. As we saw from the record, everything's improving. Is that correct,
That's
Doctor?
correct.
Yeah, everything's improving. And I attribute that to the fact that I've been coming here regularly the past 2 years, I believe. So I've gotten very good results.
What was unique about today's appointment is we also are beginning to pilot looking at genetic testing for certain medications.
The School of Pharmacy recognizes that personalized medicine will be integral to the future of pharmacy practice.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to tie pharmacogenetics with pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics. Regarding medicine, right now we're at a beginning, an infancy of how this is going to change medicine. Starting with the Human Genome Project back in the 1990s and its first publication in 2001, it's been now about a decade since we've had the human genome sequence. We are learning something every week about how medicine interacts with genes.
The Raby College of Pharmacy represents a commitment in pharmacy education to prepare students to be agents of change.
As elementary as it sounds, it just made sense to me to use the human genome to help better serve patients. And
when I graduate and get a job, I would like to incorporate pharmacogenomics in my practice wherever I'm at. I feel it's very important to personalize medicine to each individual patient.
When you look at where we see the future of pharmacy going, it's moving in the direction of medication therapy management, what we call MTMs. But as the MTMs grow and the science of pharmacy grows, we're going to see that blend of MTMs with pharmacogenetics.
Every week, every month, new information is coming out about how to use drugs more efficiently. Some people have compared this Human Genome Project to landing on the moon. And just now, we are starting to reap the benefits of it. We're just starting to do that. At this point in time, I mean, rarely in history do we have the opportunity to be part of something that's going to change the way we do something worldwide. And pharmacogenetics is that thing. It's the here and now future of pharmacy and medicine.
Improving patient medication adherence is an important focus for all stakeholders in the healthcare system today. Pharmacists are doing their part by increasing patient education and counseling on the importance of taking their medication on time and as prescribed. But ultimately, it's the patient who needs to remember when to take their prescriptions. Midwest Vaco is using simpler packaging to help patients follow their medication schedule. The packaging has a proven track record for saving pharmacies time and reducing medication adherence errors.
Today, more than 1/2 of all Americans are being treated for at least one chronic disease, such as diabetes or heart disease. And new research shows that the manner in which healthcare professionals prescribe and dispense medication is a critically important component of public health. According to one recent report, between 1/3 and 1/2 of all patients taking prescription medication do not take those medications as directed.
It is an obvious, huge public health issue that only half the people take their medications as prescribed.
There's multiple reasons for not taking your medicines appropriately. One of the reasons is simple, I forgot.
The MWV is currently marketing innovative but very simple solutions to help address this problem. For example, our Shelf Pack adherence package is a prepackaged, pre-label package with calendarized blistering that helps the patient better understand how to take their medication and when. And there's instant verification for the patient to see actually when they've taken the medication and on what day.
MWV recently funded a first-of-its-kind retrospective analysis evaluating the impact of adherence packaging on patient medication adherence. This peer-reviewed study was published in the Journal of Clinical Therapeutics and showed that patients using MWV's calendarized blister packaging, ShellPack, alone, without any educational support or other complementary adherence intervention, benefited from a statistically significant improvement in both refill adherence and persistence versus patients using traditional pill vials. These results were affirmed and amplified by a recent case study evaluating a leading branded cardiovascular medication packaged in the ShellPack adherence packaging. New to medication patients receiving ShellPack Plus, a comprehensive educational campaign showed an extraordinary increase of 44 days in length of therapy, a 41% improvement in persistence compared to vials.
Health indicators such as medication adherence can have a huge public health benefit when they are applied to the entire population of millions of patients.
In 2011, the American Heart Journal published Duke University's Clinical Research Institute study, Medication Adherence, a Call for Action.
About 50% of patients do not take their medication for cardiovascular disease. Cardiovascular diseases are most likely to cause mortality and morbidity within the U.S. population. The prevalence and the numbers of these diseases are continuing to increase.
MWV believes that by working and partnering with members of the medical and pharmacy communities, it can continue to develop and provide innovative adherence packaging designed to reduce medication error, address domestic pharmacoeconomic inefficiencies, and improve patient adherence.
Beyond adherence, there are many benefits to compliance packs for the patient and for our industry, including reduced cost burden to the U.S. healthcare system, improved refill rates for the pharmacy, improved efficiencies in the filling process, and we will continue to innovate to improve patient medication adherence through our Compliance Pack program.
It is our belief that high-value adherence packaging, like ShellPack, will generate a positive brand association because the package itself is easy to handle as well as easy to open. It'll communicate important patient education because the information that is outlined, like side effects and how to take the medication, is clearly outlined on the package itself. And then finally deliver improved patient adherence because of the calendarized blister within the package, verifying the patient has taken their medication and when.
Training tomorrow's pharmacists to serve society and their patients by improving health outcomes. That is the mission of Duquesne University's Milan School of Pharmacy and the Graduate School of Pharmaceutical Sciences.
The Milan School of Pharmacy believes that in order to become a good pharmacist, a student needs to know more than how to properly dispense medications.
The School of Pharmacy exists to help educate future pharmacists, and our mission is to improve health outcomes in patients and communities. And our neighbors close to us are our community, and many of them are in medically underserved areas, and it is our goal to make sure our students understand how to serve those patients as well.
Pittsburgh's Hill District is an extremely vibrant neighborhood with economic and healthcare challenges. With the Center for Pharmacy Services, Duquesne University decided the best way to serve this community's health needs was to open the Pharmacy in the Hill.
Here, most people either went over to Oakland or downtown, which meant they had to catch, either anywhere between 2 to 3 buses in order to get to the pharmacy. Most of our population consists of the elderly. The population in the Hill is about 96% minority, and 40% of the area lives below federal poverty guidelines. If the students are here in the pharmacy, as well as their external rotation sites, they really get a taste for the community. They're able to really be involved with a diverse population, and hopefully they're able to learn some cultural competency in the way that they deal with patients of different minorities and ethnic groups, and really learn to meet the patient right at their level.
Student pharmacists are well trained and supervised as they learn to treat people as more than patients.
Our job here is to make sure that the patients get the best outcomes that they possibly can. We try and do that with a lot of education. We do a lot of smoking cessation, immunization programs, just to try and keep people as healthy as they can be. So they kind of look to us as like the professionals, like we know how they can have the best health outcomes possible.
For the patients that aren't able to afford their medications, we have a donor that has supplied free medications, generic medications, to be accessed by patients that are, zero income level, basically. And then as far as accessibility goes, we offer free delivery through the community into Allegheny County.
We're an ambulatory care clinic. What we do is we manage certain disease states for Duquesne University employees, for the students, and for the surrounding Pittsburgh community. So anybody that can walk in and come and get managed for these disease states or for wellness. We try and show them that it's not about just treating with medications and managing through medication therapy. They will know how to do that when they graduate. They have the background in the therapeutics when they graduate pharmacy school. But more importantly, through the collaboration and through working at the center, they'll know how to care for their patients.
We've learned how to communicate effectively with patients, kind of form a really trusting relationship. That way it's been a good experience for both the student pharmacists and for the patients involved as well.
Our underlying mission at Duquesne University is to serve God by serving students. And as we serve students, we ask them to go out in the community and continue to serve there. That's the extension of what their education is all about at Duquesne.
Pharmacists are now on the front lines of America's fight against influenza. But did you know there was a time when pharmacists were not allowed to give flu shots? In 1979, only 6 states allowed pharmacists to dispense influenza vaccines. Today, 52 U.S. states and territories allow it, and more than 150,000 pharmacists have been trained to administer vaccines. It's just one more example of how the role of pharmacists keep changing to adapt to the changing health needs of the nation. The University of the Pacific Thomas J. Long School of Pharmacy and Health Sciences not only turns out healthcare professionals, they educate leaders. Alumni are leaders in every health science field. Students are leaders on campus, and the school is a leader in pharmacy education.
The University of the Pacific Thomas J. Long School of Pharmacy and Health Sciences fosters a culture of leadership. One of the ways this is demonstrated is the high number of Pacific alumni involved in state and national pharmacy associations.
Showing the next generation what it takes by deed, as well as taking them under their wings, showing them how to participate in activities within those associations, leads now to a tradition of leadership within our school.
One of the biggest things that UOP teaches you about leadership is that to be like an effective leader, you need to be constantly learning, because pharmacy is a profession that's always changing, and we want it to change, which it's a good thing.
It's also about developing your skills and helping your profession grow and taking the possibilities of where pharmacy can lead us to, and hopefully advocate for our profession.
All of our faculty get involved with our students and the organizations that they advise. And there are rewards to this. The mentorship leads to many, many dynamic student leaders that we have developed over the years.
The reason that I chose the University of the Pacific was because of all the endless opportunities that I saw while I was here interviewing. When I spoke to some of the professors, they were telling me about all the different organizations, committees.
We really take time to know our students, and I think one of the things that's special about us is that we take the time to find the unique qualities in every student. So some people emerge very quickly as leaders. Other people need to be developed, and sometimes a faculty member or another student might see something in you that you didn't see in yourself. So we really do have an opportunity to, I think, help students express their uniqueness and find places where they can be a leader, where it fits them, not so much them going into a mold, but allowing them to kind of, decide for themselves how they want to lead.
At the University of the Pacific, we're really lucky because we have a lot of leadership committees, and one of them is the International Pharmaceutical Leadership Federation, and as co-chairs, it's been such a fortunate experience because we started out really small, but with the help of faculty and staff, we've been really able to expand and initiate a lot of projects for our school, and we've really grown in the past year.
Pacific also leads by reaching out to the community to provide important health services.
Our students and faculty today do healthcare clinics spanning areas such as diabetes, asthma care, osteoporosis care, doing immunizations, helping the elderly select proper, the Medicare Part D program, the proper insurance companies that they might use. Our faculty and students, for free, have touched thousands of underserved patients here in the San Joaquin County and surrounding counties.
You will have colleagues and coworkers looking up to you for advice, and more importantly, you're going to have patients go to you for advice and asking you to help them solve their healthcare problems. And so I feel like being a student leader really helps you develop those skills.
They allow everybody the opportunity to become a leader, and if you are unsure about it, they make you feel so comfortable that becoming a leader here on campus is really an enjoyable thing to be a part of.
A recent survey by the APHA found that immunizations and diabetes management are the two top services provided by American pharmacists, with more than 60% saying they offer them. Medication therapy management, hypertension services, and lipid management were also top offerings. Anticoagulation medication services, pain management, infectious disease services, tobacco cessation, and self-care services rounded out the top 10. University of Buffalo School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences is the only pharmacy school in the State University of New York system, known for excellence, leadership, innovation, and its impact on local, national, and global communities. In addition to being internationally renowned for its research work in pharmacokinetics, pharmacodynamics, and its AIDS training and research programs, this prestigious institution is also expanding into a new state-of-the-art facility.
Our mission is one of education, research, and service, certainly. We're very proud of our university and of our students and faculty. We have a long history. We're just celebrating our 125th anniversary, so we've been here a while. And beyond that, we've had a historic strength in research.
Some of these cutting-edge research and programs take place here at the University of Buffalo School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences.
In research, we're mostly involved in developing antibody drugs for treatment of autoimmunity and for cancer, and we work with companies through the Center for Protein Therapeutics to try to engineer new ways to be able to develop proteins more quickly.
In the field of pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics of small drug molecules and therapeutic proteins, the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences here at UB is one of the best departments in the nation. The work we do here in the lab allows us to provide a better understanding of the mechanistic determinants of the disposition and drug-drug interactions. One of the exciting moments is to see that what you were expecting is coming with the numbers.
And beyond that, our prestige extends beyond the shores of this country, insofar as we do, in fact, engage in global endeavors.
So there's lots of patients who have HIV and not enough clinicians to take care of them and not enough researchers to do the research that needs to be done to figure out what's the best way to treat them. Now, at the height of the epidemic in Africa, there's between 30 and 40 million patients. But then we have established programs now with countries in Southern Africa where they send some of their faculty and students here, and then we're also actively involved in building their capacity at their universities in Africa.
The university recently finished building the state-of-the-art Beeling Patient Simulation Center, an interdisciplinary center where medical, dental, nursing, and pharmacy students complete integrated training in virtual clinical care areas.
We use high-fidelity human simulators to allow students to get a very realistic experience. Cases are authored by faculty across different disciplines, and it gives the students an opportunity to have a realistic and immersive experience, but still in a very safe and controlled environment for learning.
I've learned a lot about the profession of pharmacy practice and also about pharmaceutical sciences. I've also learned about my career passions in academia and research. In terms of leadership, I became really involved with the organizations that were available to our chapters on the chapter level.
So deciding to come to UB was one of the best decisions of my life. I can summarize my experience as being very challenging, but at the same time exciting and rewarding. The faculty and the staff are truly amazing at UB, and they do care about the students.
The faculty are really inspiring and engaging to develop leadership. They work hand in hand to become our advisors. The school also provides a lot of funding to go to conferences, which is really inspiring because then you get to meet students from all over the nation, as well as faculty and mentors.
The newly constructed John and Aditha Kapoor Hall is designed and built specifically for the School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences.
It was part and parcel of the design concept from the very beginning that this building should offer a friendly environment for students and faculty. So our future is very bright, and we're quite excited as we migrate to Kapoor Hall, which is really truly a state-of-the-art facility. The whole future is really quite exciting for us.
What could be better than a pharmacy technician? After all, they're the ones who keep the system running by handling everything from insurance reimbursement to instructing patients on proper use of medication and devices. But what about a certified pharmacy technician? These are healthcare workers whose skills are certified to be up to date and up to standard by the Pharmacy Technician Certification Board. A board certification can mean not just higher quality work, but also higher pay and better patient outcomes. It's a key way for technicians and the pharmacies they work for to stand out from the crowd. If someone told you that the only pharmacy college in the state of Vermont is the campus of State of New York's Albany College of Pharmacy, you would probably scratch your head a bit in confusion. Well, it is a fact. This campus feels a bit different than a typical college. Outstanding sense of community, great outdoors, and scenic downtown mix into somewhat of a different academic experience.
My name is Jason, and I'm a student at Albany College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. We're here on the rooftop of the Vermont campus. I'm going to walk you through the day in the life of a student here. Hey, Daniel, how's it going? Good. Very good. Nice to see you again. Mind if I sit?
No, sure. We designed this building to be a good educational experience for the way we teach.
The vial is a rigid container, unlike the piggyback, which will collapse like a balloon.
The nice thing at the Vermont campus is we've got a smaller number of students, smaller number of faculty, so the students get to know each other very well and the students get to know the faculty pretty well, and yet the students still have the ability to access the other 60 faculty that are at the Albany campus.
We're such a small, close-knit family. Yeah, there's 70 of us in our class. There's 70 in each class here, but each class has its own family identity, but we have a family identity as a school.
Yep.
It's on the dyslipidemia and diabetes.
From the first year when we were the first graduating class, what we instilled on each other that help each other out. We all gonna graduate with Pharm D. We all gonna be spread out eventually, and there is competition later in life. But because of that, you can't let that affect how you should help each other out. And a pharmacist there itself is a helping community. If you don't help your student mates, how are you gonna help the community later?
So this spring we're gonna go skydiving again. You excited to do it with us?
I don't know if I'll go skydiving. I will definitely catch everyone.
So people can ski, you could snowboard, you can hike. There's also a dance club here, and they perform in outside communities, and they can go to nursing homes, and we participate in like salsa nights.
The experiential education opportunities for this campus really are obviously off the campus, but we access Fletcher Allen Healthcare, which is about 3 miles away from here, an excellent level 1 trauma center, which has superb pharmacy services, so we're able to give our students a great experience there.
My students that I have on rotation get to model the role of a true clinical practitioner.
Jane's a 27-year-old female. She was discharged yesterday to her own apartment after a 6-day inpatient stay, precipitated by a first episode of diabetic ketoacidosis. The addition of a pharmacist is an invaluable contribution to our general plan of care.
She came to us on 3 anti-diabetic medications which she was non-compliant with. She was taking glipizide.
There is no really limit to how much that you can be rewarded from this. This learning experience is invaluable to the student of a pharmacy profession. It's invaluable.
We've been very fortunate with our students. The student body that we've attracted has been very interested in becoming involved in the community, and they've done this in a number of different ways.
Getting involved in bigger projects gives you the big picture of why you're in pharmacy school and what a difference you can make. I've had great experiences doing patient care outreach projects.
The coolest thing about being in Burlington, Vermont is the youth and the culture. It's all original. There's all one-off restaurants and places to go shop and eat. Every day you can go somewhere new and try something different. That's the coolest thing about Vermont. It's all local and cultural, and it's a community feel, and that's what we get here at the school too.
It really is a family. I'm gonna miss it so much when I leave here because I've gained a lot of good friends.
When I first came here for my interview, there was only one single room finished and everything else was a construction site. So I had to take the word that they were actually gonna build a school here. And I took his word, and when I came here, with 74 other students, we became a family, and we made this school what it is. And it was almost like the Field of Dreams, the movie. If you build it, they will come. And they built the school and we came, and this is the best school I could ever imagine going to.
Community pharmacies are often the place people go seeking medical consultations. Patients expect their pharmacies to meet the highest quality and safety standards. But how are those standards measured, recognized, and certified? Community Health Accreditation Program, CHAP, is a not-for-profit agency that's been accrediting healthcare professionals since 1965.
CHAP is located in the heart of Washington, D.C. But whether your community is based on Wall Street or Main Street, CHAP believes it has the experience, knowledge, and know-how to help you successfully achieve national accreditation.
All we do is community-based programs. We're not a facility accreditor. We have standards that are relevant for those organizations that are providing services in the community to the community. And when they meet those standards, they can present themselves as having a higher seal of approval.
If a retail pharmacy wants to take that next step and say, we have the quality and the quality management tools to provide these services, CHAP is there.
In California, if you're CHAP accredited, we have been approved as an approved accrediting body for sterile compounding in that state. Same thing in Maryland for pharmacy organizations who are CHAP accredited. They're exempt from the licensure requirements for distribution of medical gases. So it saves time and money.
Payers will recognize those pharmacies that provide services and have been accredited for those services. They'll be willing to pay for those services.
CHAP says its community-based pharmacy accreditation program utilizes 21st century training techniques, including remote learning programs, to educate pharmacists in how to meet accreditation standards and to provide better patient-centered care.
The CHAP website is incredibly easy to use. An organization can easily go on the CHAP website, learn what they're going to need to do to prepare for accreditation, make an application to CHAP, and then complete their self-study in the CARE system.
The CARE self-study is in a web-based electronic format. It's something that you can access at any time, day or night. We have online webinars telephone resources with our regional directors of professional services. It does take some preparation on the part of the organization and some time on the part of the organization in getting ready to meet the CHAP standards and for the on-site visit.
CHAP site visitors for pharmacy all have at least 5 years middle to senior level management in pharmacy services. They all maintain a current license in their home state, and they're all pharmacists. So only a pharmacist will come out and survey a pharmacy for CHAP accreditation.
We have standards that apply to every setting: a retail pharmacy, a long-term care pharmacy, specialty pharmacies, as well as home infusion pharmacies.
CHAP has deeming authority from CMS, and what that means is that we can do Medicare surveys for the 3 services: home health, hospice, home medical equipment. And an organization can come to CHAP and get their Medicare certification for those areas.
CHAP says its 5,000 accredited agencies want staff to stay current on the latest trends, rules, and education in healthcare.
We do news alerts, we have a newsletter that goes out, and we also reach out individually to our customers if something's happening in their state that they need to know about. We also partner with state and national associations like APHA to make sure that we're up to date with what's happening in the industry, and then we can pass that information along to our accredited organizations as well.
We've been around since 1965. Our standards are relevant, our process is user-friendly, and the organizations believe and know that what we're doing adds value to their organization.
More than 100 years old, Creighton University's School of Pharmacy and Health Professions goes the distance, literally. One of the most significant milestones was the establishment of the nation's first distance-based entry-level pathway to the Doctor of Pharmacy degree.
Located in Omaha, Nebraska, Creighton University is one of 28 Jesuit colleges and universities in the U.S. They emphasize the education of the whole person, academically, socially, and spiritually.
Our students are looking for a balance in their life as well, so that plays a large role in how they look at a career.
With 9 schools and colleges, including an academic medical center, and 7,600 students enrolled in undergraduate, graduate, and professional schools, Creighton University is a complex university for its size. And while the School of Pharmacy and Health Professions has enjoyed many successes, the Distance Pathway program that allows students to obtain their Doctor of Pharmacy degrees remotely is a tremendous stride in harnessing technology to allow individuals to serve their community wherever it may be.
We've incorporated technology into learning in a number of ways. Obviously, our unique distance education pathway in pharmacy is a major example of that.
All of our rooms that we use for our required courses have special technology for our distance pathway. They have cameras mounted in the ceiling or on the back of the wall. And there's 2 cameras, and one captures anything that is shown through the document camera, and the other captures the instructor, and that's on a motion sensor and follows them around the front part of the room. Then the instructor also wears a digital microphone, and our technology combines all of that together automatically for the distance student to see within an hour or 2 of the actual campus lecture. One of the neatest parts is there's a scroll bar on the side, so they can, if they miss something, they can back it up, listen to it again, or if they can move forward, and they can listen and watch that capture as many times as they want throughout the semester.
I told my dad once that I wanted to be a pharmacist, but he knew that I was married and I was an Army wife. So I couldn't have the benefit of being a campus student because I would be relocating. So my dad actually emailed me an excerpt from Creighton University, and he told me to check this out. So I checked it out, and it was a distance-based program for pharmacy students.
We have been able to address the shortage area of pharmacy practitioners, not only in our region but in the United States. Because our distance program is widespread across the United States, we are now able to provide pharmacy practitioners in many areas of the United States that we weren't earlier on.
You know, I remember very distinctly some people in my class that very first year, the first year of the first program, who would not have had an option. People who had small kids at home, and even if they could have gone out and attended a program, there wasn't one close to them. So I am someone that there really were options But however, the choices were not nearly as great as attending a program like Crichton, doing it electronically from my house. And again, being there for my family was very, very important to me.
The quality of the education, the amount of interaction I have with professors as well as other students is just as great as it would be in a campus-based pathway.
The spring of the year that I was to start pharmacy school, my family situation changed, and I could not move to Omaha to attend campus at Creighton. So that spring, I submitted a request to the School of Pharmacy at Creighton requesting to be transferred into the web-based pathway of the program. And I was very fortunate that Creighton had the flexibility to offer that to me.
A professional career is intensive, it's challenging, so our job is to provide those tools and skills to our students so they can be successful.
Strengthening pharmacists' existing skill sets and innovating new training techniques are just a few of the many ways APHA says it's helping members and improving patient care and medical outcomes. APHA is always looking forward and continually developing new trend-setting models to create more successful practices for today's pharmacists.
The Professional Affairs team is really charged with making APHA's strategic plan a reality in practice. What we're really working on right now is the implementation of pharmacist clinical services under financially viable business models. So that includes ramping up medication therapy management across the country and making sure that payment systems are in place for those services. Health and wellness services for patients, chronic disease management services, making sure that pharmacists can contribute to quality measures in practice in all settings, including the community setting, hospital settings. The other area that we're really working on is in the area of medication safety and medication errors.
According to the Institute for Safe Medication Practices, each year there are more than 1.5 million preventable adverse medication events in the U.S. Those preventable medication events result in $177 billion in preventable ambulatory care costs.
Who better than the person that knows the most about medications to take the ball and then manage that in conjunction with the other members of the healthcare team?
For many years, medication therapy management has been the #1 strategic priority of the association. We have worked on numerous tools and resources to help provide practicing pharmacists with the tools and resources that they need in order to provide medication therapy management. We work with schools and colleges of pharmacy, prepare future pharmacists. We've developed a number of different types of practice models and service models that have helped to lead the profession in conjunction with other organizations and in collaboration with other groups to ingrain the MTM service model into practice.
Another growing area of practice for pharmacists is educating patients on the successful management of self-care therapies.
APHA has really a long history in the OTC non-prescription self-care market. We are certainly the preeminent publishers of the Handbook of Non-Prescription Drugs, but we also do a lot of programming for pharmacists after they get out of school related to making sure that they understand how to talk to patients about self-care issues, how they triage self-care issues in their practice settings.
APHA is continually creating new training tools to enhance the pharmacist's role in patient-centered care. APHA is collaborating with NABP to develop the new Community Pharmacy Accreditation Program.
And it will allow community pharmacies the opportunity, by pursuing accreditation, to distinguish themselves in the areas of quality, patient care, medication safety.
Another leading APHA initiative is training pharmacists in providing immunizations.
We have now trained more than 175,000 pharmacists to administer immunizations. All 50 states plus Puerto Rico and the District of Columbia allow pharmacists to administer influenza vaccinations. And we've made a significant impact in the access for our citizens. where pharmacists have now integrated immunizations into their patient care activities.
Take one part College of Pharmacy, combined with academic excellence, add a passion for serving others, mix in disease prevention and research, and you get Drake University's formula for creating tomorrow's leading healthcare providers.
Drake University's College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences in Des Moines, Iowa, offers one of the country's outstanding PharmD programs.
Well, it's exciting to see all of the innovations that we as a college have put into place.
The hands-on experiential training students receive in the school's state-of-the-art labs, classrooms, and in real healthcare centers, combined with the faculty's team-based approach to learning, is creating tomorrow's healthcare leaders.
Do you have some time here today to do a blood glucose screening?
Drake graduates are being highly sought after for careers in every aspect of pharmaceutical sciences.
I've worked in 3 or 4 labs, and all of that experience will definitely look great on a resume.
Drake's College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences has the feel of a large university in the setting of a smaller, more personal college.
When you look at large universities and you look at how many opportunities they give, both in education and research, you can get all of that at Drake. The one thing that you get here that you don't get in large institutions is a sense of a community.
With the pre-pharmacy program, we're very integrated into the rest of campus. You can kind of get that part of the undergraduate experience.
I teach pharmacy skills and applications class, which is the hands-on technical part of being a pharmacist.
It's here that students learn how to use medications in a safe and effective manner.
We have 21st century state-of-the-art equipment in all of our labs, and we continue to update them. In the Davidson lab, we use an automated dispensing machine. We also have the Mayhew compounding lab.
The equipment that is in the Ellis Disease Prevention Lab allows our students to have a better understanding of the human body. This allows them to understand the effects that these conditions, injuries, and illnesses can have on patients.
In keeping with the university's mission of providing exceptional environment for our students to learn, we have designed the pharmacogenomics and health sciences disease prevention lab to provide students with a hands-on learning opportunity.
There's 2 cancer cell lines. We're looking at the methylation pattern in those cell lines, because the more we know about even the small details about these cancer cell lines, the better we are able to treat them.
We have a number of students that go on and do concentrations in specialty areas such as leadership and entrepreneurship, global and comparative public health, and diabetes. We have a lot of students that pursue combined degree programs. We have a master's in business administration, a master's in public administration, and also a law degree.
Many Drake Pharmacy students serve healthcare needs in every corner of the world, including at this clinic in Belize.
They're at free clinics, working side by side with doctors and nurses. They're reaching out to our seniors.
And really eye-opening, really has changed my view of pharmacy.
They also provide a number of health fairs.
When students come back from these experiences, they can't wait to tell us what a wonderful, transformative experience that they have had.
What I desire of all graduates, that the skills and knowledge that we give them, the abilities to learn and grow, allow them to take advantage of opportunities that come their way, to take advantage of jobs that haven't even been created yet, and to actually create their own jobs. And so that all of those opportunities will ultimately lead to a healthier, happier world that they work in and live in.
Pharmacists are well connected. A recent survey by the American Pharmacists Association found that pharmacists are well represented on social networks like Facebook and Twitter, a move that connects them to their real-world communities, patients, and colleagues. Facebook is the most popular social network for pharmacists, with 62% of surveyed practitioners using it. LinkedIn was number 2 at 30%. YouTube was number 3 with 12% of those surveyed using the service. Twitter came in at number 4 with 8% of overall usage. In the small town of Big Rapids, Michigan, the College of Pharmacy at Ferris State University is achieving great things. With a curriculum centered on combining all sciences and a special focus in healthcare finance and management, the college sends its MBA graduates to the Great Lakes area and beyond.
One of the attractive things about being a Ferris graduate is you're learning from practitioner. The faculty are all practitioners by and large and involved in the state and in practice.
The ability to look forward in practice too, that as practitioners they see where it's headed.
At Ferris State University, students learn that becoming an excellent pharmacist means being interdisciplinary and using what they've learned to break communication barriers with their patients.
Each patient is different. Each patient is individual, and in the clinical communications class and really in OTCs, the over-the-counters class, we spend a lot of time helping students to build strategies, to come up with ways to systematically gather the information that they need, helping them to adjust the approach of their care often results in better outcomes.
Becoming an effective pharmacist means knowing what real practice is like. APPE allows students to perform rotations in several institutions around the state.
As part of the experiential programs, we work with our first-year students, and each student does a 3-week experience in a community pharmacy or traditional retail pharmacy setting. And what we really do is to give them the basics. What does a pharmacist do? What does it mean to work in a pharmacy?
One of Ferris's strongest attributes, I think, is its partnerships within the community. So for example, Ferris has partnered with Meyer Pharmacy, which is a regional chain of community pharmacies of about 200 stores. And through that partnership, they've offered residency training in community pharmacy practice for over 10 years now. So that's been a great collaboration. There's been some recent collaborations within the community that have led to the development of residency programs as well. And not only with resident training, we also place students at many of these locations throughout these collaborations we've had within community pharmacy settings.
Students have an opportunity to experience pharmacy practice in a variety of healthcare systems, working in clinics that provide training in medication compliance and management.
Well, I do get a chance to talk to the patients directly, and a lot of time they do tell us a lot of information that they sometimes forget or don't tell the doctors or the residents, who sometimes don't have all the time to kind of listen to what's going on with their lives.
Typical day, because I'm here at Cherry Street. I get here in the morning and I go through some patient files that are one of the more pertinent ones to the day and review them. And if I'm lucky, I get to meet with them for even a half an hour sometimes to see what's going on with them. I get to really talk to the person on like a personal level. It's really, really rewarding because you don't get this anywhere else. This is my favorite rotation thus far, hands down.
Located in the Old City, Philadelphia, the Institute for Continuing Healthcare Education is an independent medical education company that uses its expertise to design effective, focused education in multiple therapeutic areas that positively impact both patients and community health. The Institute provides innovative and clinically relevant certified continuing education to physicians, nursing professionals, pharmacists, and other allied healthcare professionals.
At the Institute for Continuing Healthcare Education, they say that healthcare is not delivered in silos, and so neither should professional education.
The best care possible happens in a team-based environment where the physician acts as the primary point of contact, but he collaborates with an interdisciplinary team of professionals. And as a team, the care is developed for the patient. We take that type of approach when we develop education.
I think the Institute is unique in terms of developing innovative education. We are trying to think out of the box. We are trying to do things that will inspire healthcare professionals to be better at their trade.
Continuing education activity planning begins with the identification of educational needs for the targeted audience.
The education cycle starts by identifying educational gaps in the practice setting. And an educational gap is defined as what ideally should be happening in practice and what actually is happening in practice, and the discrepancy that may exist between that.
Throughout the year, we'll put together a variety of different programs, be they live programs, be they online programs, be they print programs. that meet specific educational gaps that we have identified during our research process.
It's not going to be quantitative, it will be qualitative.
When we are developing our programs, one of the things that we always try to do is build in ways so that the audience can interact with the actual education itself.
It's continuing education that keeps the learner in mind that, you know, we're not, you know, in academia because we want to read more. We want to be able to interact. We want to see things in an exciting and very, you know, visual way, and also to take into account that patient care is what we're focused on.
I think the evolving role of the pharmacist as the healthcare team is evolving. I think is really pushed more into the forefront, that they want pharmacists' involvement on daily patient care rounds. They want them talking to the patients on a daily basis. And because of this, the patients are going to ask questions directly to the pharmacist in addition to the other healthcare providers. So it's really important that the pharmacists are well educated.
Several theories of adult learning suggest that it takes 3 to 5 educational and interactive interventions over time to initiate and sustain a change in knowledge or behavior.
Changes in behavior are sustained with multiple interventions. First, the education has to be valuable and engaging, but one intervention is not enough. It may start off as a live event that we will follow up with practice pearls or reinforce some of the education. In many cases, what we will do is take that outcome data and distribute it to the learners because it's very valuable what their peers experienced with this particular intervention, as well as how they compare to everyone else.
The data is used in many different ways. First and foremost, we look at the data to see how are learners acting differently. Is it that their knowledge has been enhanced? Has their application been enhanced? Or has their performance been enhanced?
It's important that educational learning objectives are measurable because we are looking to impact or to change a clinician practice in terms of their knowledge, competence, or performance in the practice setting. Designing a measurable learning objective enables us to do that.
The data also helps us to measure change in patient outcomes. And that's equally as important. So it's a win-win situation. It's a win for the learners in terms of enhancing their overall knowledge and their medical ability, as well as improving patient outcomes and quality of life.
By design, pharmacy schools focus on drug formulation and delivery of medicine, while medical schools focus on biology and disease states. But Mercer School of Pharmacy integrates the two by recruiting scientists who also focus on biology and disease state to enhance students' ability to take research from lab to patient.
With a legacy that dates back more than a century, the College of Pharmacy at Mercer has adapted to the rapid advances in medicine.
One of the unique things about our research efforts here is that ultimately it is patient-focused.
The college became the first pharmacy school in the Southeast and is the 5th in the nation to offer the Doctor of Pharmacy as its sole professional degree. In addition, students have access to basic science and clinical research to study drugs for cancer and Alzheimer's.
The main research interest in my lab is to devise nanocarriers to deliver multiple anti-cancer drugs to the tumor. And we aim to identify highly effective nano-sized drug delivery system to deliver the drug and enhance the anti-cancer efficacy of these drugs. And to achieve this goal, we actually take a multidisciplinary approach by combining pharmaceutical sciences with cancer biology. And we think this approach is quite unique.
Over the last year, I've had the opportunity to work with Dr. Tan and her cancer research lab. And my particular project was in terms of looking at the time and concentration of 2 anti-cancer agents and how they affected the cell cycle with ovarian cancer cells. It was really outstanding. My favorite part, I think early on I noticed, was when you looked at cell cycles and you actually saw cancer stop, you saw the cell proliferation stop, and that was just phenomenal to me that we could have such an impact on it.
My goal is to get them experience on the clinical research side of things, in that I would like them to experience the patients that come into the clinical research, how the clinical research works, and how the development, the drug development process goes for all of the medications that they may eventually be providing for their patients.
The role of the pharmacist is not only that of distribution, but of service. Career opportunities are many and varied.
Having this center here at Mercer really provides quite a special and unique experience for students, because it's not every day, and there's I think less than 5 pharmacy schools across the country that actually have one of these centers available. So it gives students a different perspective and allows students to see a pharmacist in a different role versus where you usually see them.
It changes their thinking towards maybe their career path and what they want to do in their career, in that they have never experienced the kind of clinical research that goes on here, or what really gets into the clinical research process and all of the intricacies that take place, and that their skill set will suit very well for this kind of a career.
Pharmacy in the end is a science-based discipline, and understand the real science and how science is done really help them to understand what they learn from the textbook and ultimately understand how drug works. And in the end, that research experience help them to be a better pharmacist.
All of the research that we do ultimately have applications for the patients. And we know that when we're doing the research, rather than discovering something and then trying to determine whether it has a clinical application.
Mancheck Technologies entered the pharmacy automation market 5 years ago with a revolutionary technology, the Dosis L60. The compact robotic system allows pharmacies and patients to fill, seal, and label 30 or 31-day single medication blister cards with the press of a button.
Mancheck Technologies is a product development company specialized in pharmacy automation.
Based in Alexandria, Louisiana, Mancheck Technologies helps pharmacies keep up with prescription demands, maintain regulatory compliance, and ensure patient safety, all at the push of a button.
Our machine is very flexible, so it allows pharmacies to adapt to changing regulations, especially the short cycle mandated that are coming up in January 1st, 2013. Our device allows them to fill both 7-day cards and 30-day cards in the same equipment and allow them to do that side by side with their technicians on the floor without really having to change much in their workflow. Everything kind of happens automatically if they set those rules up in our equipment.
Their hallmark product, the Dosis L60, is an easy-to-use, pharmacy-friendly product that fills, seals, and labels prescriptions.
A typical long-term care pharmacy, like the one behind us that uses a Dosis L60 machine, enjoys the benefits of the efficiency and automated workflow that machine provides them as they serve the needs for the nursing home next to us, a typical nursing home that needs thousands of prescriptions filled every month.
We started in March of '09 with the beta site on it, upgraded it in November into the full model, and a year later moved it over here in our new building, got another new one, and worked fine ever since. We couldn't do without it.
The L60 is about the same size and shape as a vending machine, making it easy to install.
Our machine rolls in. Physical installation is less than half a day. They're able to integrate it into their workflow in a matter of a few weeks and have it start producing at full capacity very quickly.
We build up to the Dosis L60 in modules. It gives ability for us to go into your pharmacy, change a module out, come back, fix it here on the desktop, and that way you're not being interrupted. Minimum downtime for you as the pharmacist.
I had looked at some automation, and the size of them usually turned me away.
Dosis helps pharmacy staff be more efficient while minimizing prescription errors.
Well, it cuts the work in half. Instead of everybody standing on the counter filling, the machine takes care of half of the stuff for us. One person deals with this and can fill at the same time it's doing it, and it makes us go faster. And then we can pre-pack on it all night long, which cuts another workload in half, because on Monday that's what the majority we use is pre-packs. So, I mean, it just cuts our work in half, and it's a lot easier to use than what I've used in the past.
The best I expect from the machine is at 6:30 at night when my last tech leads and my beeper pharmacists usually going out the door. We have doses loaded up, and we come in the next morning, we've got 250 cards pre-packed, ready for the next day.
The machine costs roughly about the same as one technician, and it does the work easily of 2 technicians. So most pharmacies are seeing a return on investment very quickly, typically less than 24 months, some as short as 12 to 15 months, depending upon how many hours of operation they have and how their workflow allows them to staff that pharmacy. So the bottom line is it costs the amount of one technician and does the work of at least 2. This is a great technology platform, allows a lot of flexibility, especially for generic change-outs, generic swap-outs of the medications themselves. The canisters don't have to be exchanged. It's a universal counting technology and allows a lot of continuing savings once the initial investment is made in this counting device for the pharmacies.
Blending the old with the new, tradition with innovation, can be a tricky business, but the Notre Dame of Maryland University believes it has found the perfect combination of tradition and transformation.
Since 1895, Notre Dame of Maryland University has been an innovator in education. The School Sisters of Notre Dame founded Notre Dame of Maryland to educate women underserved by society. Today, the school continues the mission set out more than a century ago, educating women and men to change the world.
The vision of the School of Pharmacy is to provide an exceptional pharmacy education by creating a model learning community that's dedicated to the transformation of societal health.
The University School of Pharmacy's classrooms and labs are in the state-of-the-art G. Avery Bunting Hall.
One of the perks of going to a new school is that everything is brand new. So everything was just built for us. We have brand new labs, brand new lecture halls. Everything's pretty much online, so you can access everything from in the classroom on your laptops. So that's all exciting that we're getting a part to be the first ones to kind of break that stuff in.
But a great deal of what the students learn takes place off campus. The Advocaring program assigns students to work in local community outreach programs. It's here that they help those underserved by society.
They talk with those individuals, they understand who they are, how they've come to be related with this particular agency, understand in more detail what are their needs, and how they as students can actually make an impact, a positive impact.
Students have done everything from help us serve a daily meal where we serve 700 people. They've done educational programs, health fairs, blood pressure screenings.
And during one of the blood pressure screening, one of my classmates actually measured a fellow to be really high. He was actually admitted for hypertensive emergency overnight. So actually this blood pressure screening actually educated the people, the clients, about how important it is to get their blood pressure screened.
So it's been a very positive partnership.
And one of the goals is at the end of our 4 years that the incoming class picks up where we left off. So we always will have a connection with those organizations and we can keep benefiting them.
In the third professional year, students, as part of their introductory pharmacy practice experiences, take a course called Longitudinal Care. And it's in that course that students are paired with a patient in the community, and they follow that patient and visit with that patient on a regular basis every week or every other week for an entire year.
At first I was nervous in terms of, am I able to know to apply what I learned in class to this patient? But every week I meet with the patient and I learn more about her. I build a strong relationship with her, and to help her learn more about her disease states and help her to be more adherent to her medications. I actually get to know her on a personal basis, so she gets to know, learn more about me and I learn more about her.
In the long term, the goal is that the students, having seen what an impact they can make in their community while a student, that they'll carry that with them throughout their entire career. And no matter what position they take or positions throughout their career, they always remember what an impact they can have on their community and that those needs are there and they incorporate that into their life.
It's about developing them into professionals that will be compassionate, that will be empathetic, that will understand the issues that arise as a result of the very diverse patient population that we have in the U.S. today.
Being a member of the APHA is a key way to ensure your voice is heard in the industry and with regulators. But belonging has a lot of other advantages too, ranging from professional education to connecting with peers. Here are some ways you can get involved.
It's easy to become involved with APHA if you visit the APHA website.
Volunteer activities can include becoming a key advocacy contact for the Government Affairs Department, signing up for a special interest group, or volunteering for an advisory role or committee.
APHA also has a number of newsletters and listservs and e-communities available to help you with networking.
Speak up. We want to hear from you what you're experiencing.
There's the special interest groups, which you can join a group of people that have a very similar interests that you have.
We know what you're experiencing. We know what you're being challenged with. We could address the issues, develop tools that will help you be successful in your practice.
Just look for a place that fits your needs and also allows you to serve the profession.
You've heard the expression, there must be something in the water. Well, Concordia University, Wisconsin is putting it to the test with a new research facility on the shores of the world's largest fresh water supply. Their researchers hope to answer such questions as, does the water we drink contain natural healing agents? And what happens when you flush those expired medications?
Nestled on a bluff high above the shores of Lake Michigan, just 15 miles from downtown Milwaukee, sit Concordia University and Wisconsin's new Center for Environmental Stewardship, a 21st century freshwater biopharmacology research facility.
The Concordia Center for Environmental Stewardship was developed to educate about God's environment and how we as humans are to be stewards of that environment. So it goes in nice hand in hand with the School of Pharmacy's research. We've put together a team of scientists that want to do research on fresh water and the pharmaceuticals in fresh water, whether it be the pollution of the pharmaceuticals in the fresh water or the possibility of finding new chemical entities that could be used as drugs from the fresh water.
Concordia professor Joseph McGraw believes this state-of-the-art multi-million-dollar laboratory offers researchers every tool they need to find undiscovered waterborne medications.
We have scientists from several different disciplines, and all those scientists from these different disciplines work together, developing new and novel approaches to drug development and new drugs.
Certain plants from the Amazon rainforest are used by the shamans there to treat diseases. Are there similar types of plants that are in the water?
Some of the disease states that we're looking to treat include Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, diabetes, and diabetes-associated neuropathies.
We're looking at algae and maybe some medicinal properties found within algae and kind of correlating that to why do fish not get diseases that land animals do.
And essentially what we do is we're able to isolate bacteria, cyanobacteria and blue-green algae, that are present in Lake Michigan, and we culture them here in the lab and isolate any natural products that are produced by them. And it's up to us as medicinal chemists to use synthetic techniques to take the drugs that are produced from Mother Nature and optimize them.
Focus of CSD Cubed is to help serve that mission of taking basic research from bench to bedside. And that's really our mission, is to have an impact in the world and society.
Concordia School of Pharmacy researchers are also looking at what effects pharmaceutical pollution is having on our fresh water supply.
Prescription drugs get into our water supply by people just flushing them down the toilet. Not only prescription drugs, but also drugs given to animals can get into our water supply, and that's actually an even bigger problem.
You don't necessarily have to be taking a drug to have it be in your body. So once it's out in the environment, it can end up coming into your house through the water. There's some male fish that have ovaries, so it can really mess up kind of the ecosystem.
Zebrafish have become kind of the white rat of biomedical sciences, the new white rat, because you can do so many more of them. We can generate thousands of eggs in a day, expose them from a screening toxicology point of view to different chemicals, different drugs, and look to see what the effects are on development of these embryos as they turn into mature fish. And we can do it in a very high number of fish in a very short period of time. We aren't a large lab, but we're a highly specialized lab with a lot of really good high-tech equipment.
We're one of the few schools of pharmacy in the country that are looking at this type of effect in the environment. And so if a student has that type of interest, we have the facilities, we have the faculty, and you never know what miracle cure may be out there.
The North American Pharmacist Licensure exam is a must to practice pharmacy. For more than a decade, RX Prep's NAPLEX Board Review and Pharmacist Licensure exam for those practicing in California have been delivered to top pharmacy schools, leading pharmacy chains, and students. The creators of the preparation course have used their extensive clinical, industry, and academic experience to develop a comprehensive yet compact program.
Open the device, again putting the thumb there.
My partner Karen and I developed the RX Prep course because there was nothing else on the market to help students best prepare for the NAPLEX exam. The materials out there were inaccurate or didn't have complete information or were outdated by the time they were published.
You should certainly know how to use the discus.
A lot of my previous colleagues actually used other courses and had noticed the better benefit from RX Prep. So by word of mouth, I chose RX Prep.
We make sure that our material is fresh, consistent, concise. We update our textbooks, our quiz bank, our lectures annually. It's a one-stop shop for students to come to have the most up-to-date information, including guidelines, drug interactions, black box warnings, side effects, toxicities, genomics, this whole area of pharmacy that changes so rapidly.
RX Prep has created several options that deliver consistent results.
We come to some schools and do a live course, but our best-selling product, we have developed an online course. The online course is 69 video segments of varying length, and they match to the 69 chapters in our book.
They can rewatch those videos as many times as they like, so the information is sinking in, so they can apply these concepts when they sit for their board exams.
The advantage to using the online course is it comes with our quiz bank.
They could take the quiz bank questions over and over as many times as they need.
RX Prep also provides custom-tailored review programs for colleges and universities looking to complement their curriculum and help students prepare for their board exams.
The impact that RX Prep has had on students at Xavier is really a dramatic increase in their confidence level when preparing for the board exam. I think with the content of RX Prep really coinciding with NAPLEX competencies, the students feel a lot more confident when preparing for the board. And as we all know, that's more than half the battle.
RX Prep was my main resource that I utilized. It all started off with when Dr. Shapiro came to the university and actually gave us a 4-day course, which was wonderful. But I think my biggest tool that I used was the actual quiz bank. And then those I would just take with me because I would open it up on my phone, and just wherever I was at, I would go ahead and take a question here and a question there.
Using RX Prep to study for the pharmacy board exam was the best decision that I've made. Seeing the questions on the test for the first time and realizing that I knew the answers to them really relaxed me even more, and I was no longer a question of whether or not I would pass the exam, but just to get through it and to do my very best.
The benefits of the RX Prep course are immeasurable. Not only providing an organized, manageable study program, it provides peace of mind.
Do you want to pass the exam? Because yes, you do. You need a prep course, and I think starting with RX Prep is a great way to go.
The RX Prep founders also work to build a community.
So you should be monitoring our Facebook page. There's a lot of great questions. Study groups form. People looking for study partners in different areas on the Facebook page. So it's a great way to connect with other people who are in your same shoes.
We were able to create a community of pharmacy students all trying to achieve the same goal, and that's to pass the board exam.
I still use the RX Prep book on my PGY1 residency that I'm currently on. I was kind of reluctant to give it away. A lot of people have been asking me for it, to borrow it. You know, students borrow books. I still haven't borrowed mine out.
And we're particularly happy when the students call us and tell us how good they did on the exam. It makes us happy, and we're happy to welcome them to the great profession of pharmacy.
The Ohio State College of Pharmacy functions as a premier location for cancer research, with 7 health sciences colleges on one campus. A unique combination of expertise, resources, and proximity allows some of today's brightest minds to work together in the fight against cancer.
At Ohio State University, there are 7 health sciences buildings, all within a few miles of each other. Having so many resources at their fingertips allows researchers to access the information of other practitioners just a block away.
I think the hallmark of research has been collaboration and team science effort. It really involves not only our faculty and our graduate students and postdoctoral researchers here in the college, but also colleagues across the health sciences. And it's really that team approach that allows us to really develop novel agents for attacking complex diseases such as cancer.
That approach is paying off in areas like cancer research, where researchers are creating new cancer-fighting drugs within the school's pharmacy program.
One of the strengths at OSU is the proximity and the very collaborative environment with the medical department, especially the Comprehensive Cancer Center. So my drug discovery team has worked very closely with many of the medical oncologists and hematologists to attain our goal. That is to develop new therapeutic agents. The strategy we are taking is to take a comprehensive approach that targets different aspects of the molecular defect in cancer cells.
Over the years, we've managed to make a number of discoveries, and for example, out of our work from this project and a Forerunner project, several compounds have been developed preclinically, and we've got other compounds such as the pervilines, which may inhibit multi-drug resistance, and more recently a compound that we've studied in Ohio State called sylvestrol, which looks very good for the potential treatment of leukemias and lymphomas. Ohio State is a remarkable institution because it is comprehensive. So one of the great things about this place is that there's a colleague in a given area that's locally available. Whereas in many other institutions, the medical school or the pharmacy school might be distant from the basic sciences. Here we have everybody on one campus. And this is really important for setting up collaborations with colleagues when you need to work with somebody with more specific expertise in a given problem.
Dr. Kinghorn and Dr. Chen give thanks to their students, many of whom do their own groundbreaking research. Patrick Still is a PhD student under Dr. Kinghorn.
I chose Ohio State because of the collaboration that you can get as a graduate student. You're not in a bubble. You're working on a primary area of research. In my case, that would be isolation chemistry of compounds from natural sources, plants, and testing those pure compounds. But also you get experience in biology and chemical synthesis as well, so that when you come out of the program, you're sort of a jack of all trades and you have a primary area of specialization, but you know a little bit of surrounding areas as well, and it makes you a very well-rounded scientist.
1,500. If you're Google, which processes 21 billion searches each week, 1,500 is a very small number. But if you're a pharmacist who analyzes, doses, and checks each prescription individually, 1,500 a week is a pretty big number. Well, guess what? Some 37% of U.S. pharmacists dispense more than 1,500 prescriptions each week. That's a lot of individual attention at America's pharmacies. Located in Tampa, Florida, the University of South Florida has created an interprofessional academic and learning environment that represents the future of healthcare, giving the students from different healthcare professions the opportunity to collaborate. In 2012, University of South Florida celebrated the grand opening of its Center for Advanced Medical and Learning Simulations, placing this university at the forefront of clinical and surgical training.
In 2012, University of South Florida celebrated the grand opening of its brand new Center for Advanced Medical Learning and Simulation, placing this university at the forefront of clinical and surgical training.
Well, this is one of the first centers ever that you're going to find in the country where not only are we bringing teams together in terms of learning how to work together in teams, but we're doing technical competency training for physicians, pharmacists, nurses, the entire healthcare team. One of the main things that we really want to accomplish here in the building is making sure that we have a full assessment of everybody's technical competency, both as an individual and in the team working concept.
At this 90,000 square foot health simulation center, students learn and practice advanced techniques in a realistic, risk-free environment.
What's new and exciting about this center is that we have a virtual hospital, virtual physician office, virtual pharmacy that's 1,500 square feet that both encompasses inpatient and outpatient, and it allows the pharmacy student to practice in a safe environment and with standardized patients and high-fidelity simulators, along with an interprofessional team of students from all of USF Health.
In the simulated environment, we can bring in the nurses and the med students and the pharmacy students to round on our patients at the same time. And so they get a chance to see what other disciplines do, which is always a surprise to them that they sort of all do a similar kind of thing.
Well, the way I see it, interprofessional education is very important, because when we're working as health professionals for the common goal of treating the patient, we all learn, how to treat the patient from a certain perspective. So in the future, when we graduate and we're all working together, I think it's important for us to communicate, be able to communicate well.
So collaborating with other professionals when healthcare or patient care is involved, I think allows the patient to get the full benefit of having a number of eyes, a number of minds that kind of converge upon the patient.
This is the most interprofessional campus that I've been involved with. The starting of the pharmacy program has actually been very exciting, because although the other health programs were very much interprofessional prior to the advent of the pharmacy program has almost served like the group that has brought the other disciplines together and is holding them together. We're sort of like the glue that holds everybody together. And so it's been a very inviting opportunity. Everybody is very open and wanting to be interprofessional. There's a tremendous zeal and energy.
So we're having an informal meeting of the interprofessional team. We have an IPE working team that we meet once a week.
I think when you think about how care is given in real life, it's a team of experts, a team of health professionals. So we need to educate our students in the way they're going to be practicing, but more importantly, when a team works together well, you have better outcomes for the patient, less errors, and more satisfaction, and it's really all about the patient.
A pharmacy student coming to the USF College of Pharmacy can expect to get the most advanced clinical training in terms of interprofessionalism that they're going to find anywhere in America right now.
What we envision is that our students, once they graduate, will be change agents and will be promoting interprofessional practice for the greater good of patient care.
When Robert McNeil opened the doors to his Philadelphia drugstore in 1879, he probably had no idea that 130 years later, his drugstore would evolve into a company that markets many medicines we know across the U.S. and around the world.
Today, McNeil is a company committed to providing premium healthcare solutions for both children and adults, and offers a broad range of well-known and trusted products to help consumers with relief of pain and fever, cold, flu, and allergy symptoms, digestive health ailments, and even sleeplessness. We turn to experts on the subject to tell us about the company's legacy of innovation and how it continues to follow in those historic footprints.
McNeil strives to serve the healthcare needs of a diverse group of individuals. Whether it's through our products, education, or studies, we are committed to improving the lives of those we have the privilege of serving.
Today, more than 600 over-the-counter and prescription medicines contain acetaminophen. Some patients exceed the recommended dose by not reading and following the dosing instructions, or by using multiple medicines that contain acetaminophen. McNeil is taking additional steps to help people use acetaminophen appropriately, And I believe our collective efforts can change patients' and caregivers' knowledge, attitudes, and behaviors with respect to acetaminophen use. For adult patients, we've changed the dosing instructions on extra-strength Tylenol. The new dosing instructions reduce the maximum daily dose of extra-strength Tylenol from 8 pills per day, 4,000 milligrams, to 6 pills per day, 3,000 milligrams, unless directed by a healthcare provider. Working together, I know that we can really have an impact and decrease accidental unsupervised ingestions as well as medication errors.
McNeil has been working closely with other manufacturers of pediatric acetaminophen products to encourage the industry-wide transition to one concentration for infants and children.
We recently launched an education initiative called Get Relief Responsibly, with tools and information on using acetaminophen containing medicines appropriately and reading and following the label directions.
McNeil has collaborated with many partners, including the American Pharmacists Association, the American Pain Foundation, the Consumer Healthcare Products Association, and the National Council on Patient Information and Education to develop and deliver educational programs targeted at promoting responsible use of medication.
You can play an important role by always reminding your patients to always read the label, never take more than the recommended single or daily dose, and never take more than one acetaminophen-containing medicine at the same time.
McNeil has a storied history of providing consumers, patients, and healthcare providers with important and trusted medicine. Equally as impressive is the company's long-standing commitment to packaging innovations, education, and collaborations aimed at encouraging the appropriate use of all medications and serving the healthcare needs of a diverse group of people.
Project Chance is the APHA Academy of Student Pharmacists competition to involve pharmacy students in providing health care to needy Americans. It has inspired programs like the University of Kentucky's effort to pair pharmacy students with hot meal delivery services for HIV/AIDS patients in Lexington. The benefits to the community are obvious, but the students benefit too. They get real-world experience delivering multidisciplinary care to patients, and they get the chance to connect more deeply with their community. In addition to the University of Kentucky, last year's winners are student pharmacist chapters at the University of Minnesota, the University of Southern California, the University of Washington, and Virginia Commonwealth University. The $10,000 award goes to help student chapters implement their community health care programs. A beautiful Utah mountain range surrounds the University of Utah, making it a scenic place for students and faculty to harbor new technology. Since 1975, the University of Utah College of Pharmacy has been one of the nation's highest-ranked colleges for research productivity by the National Institute of Health.
The University of Utah is ranked #1 among all universities in the U.S. for creation of startup companies beginning at the university.
In spite of the size of our faculty, we're actually one of the top-ranked colleges of pharmacy for research. Over the last decade, the college faculty have received more than $210 million in external funding. This places us in the top 3 colleges of pharmacy, and in fact, over the last 3 decades, we've been in the top 4 colleges consistently. We also have a significant economic impact for the state of Utah. The $210 million really translates to about $1 billion worth of economic impact. We also have a number of centers associated with the college which really promote excellence in research, one of which is the Anticonvulsant Drug Development Program, which has been responsible for development of all epilepsy drugs in this country over the last 2 decades.
Headed by Dr. Steve White, is unlike any other program in the country. It seeks to find the causes of epilepsy and the therapy that will slow its progression.
Over the years, the Anticonvulsant Drug Development Program, or as we call it, the AD program, has evaluated some 30,000 anti-seizure drugs that have come from around the world sent to the National Institutes of Health, and then they send them to Utah. There are several of those compounds, about a half a dozen of those compounds. Their initial anti-seizure activity was actually defined by testing in this laboratory, and we're very proud of that.
Dr. Granger and Dr. Presswich, distinguished professors of the university, recognize the need for economic development within the university and the state. Their initiatives have had a positive impact on the community and the college.
USTAR stands for the Utah Science, Technology, and Research Initiative as an effort to try to leverage the long-standing resource and research successes of the state universities as an economic development initiative. And one part of this USTAR initiative was to bolster current efforts at the universities to acquire and recruit world-class faculty members who would be able to jumpstart new businesses, high-tech businesses that would pay high salaries and then also return high tax returns to the state.
As a professor of medicinal chemistry, I have a research group, and we are very interested in discovering new therapies, specifically in the area of inflammation, cancer, and regenerative medicine. In addition to the university's policy of helping to promote technology commercialization, he also needed to have a grassroots effort within the faculty to accept that entrepreneurial activities were indeed scholarly activities.
The focus here at the University of Utah is having a multidisciplinary approach. Not only are your faculty experts in the clinical aspects of their field, but they're also able to boil it down to the basic science that makes those clinical decisions what they are today. So it's a great synthesis of all different fields of science and medicine to give us an education that focuses on understanding and application.
Many new healthcare reforms will be instituted in 2013. Be sure you attend the APHA convention in 2013, set to take place in Los Angeles, California, to learn how the reforms impact the pharmacy profession. Rosalind Franklin University of Medicine and Science believes its College of Pharmacy stands apart from the rest. A new state-of-the-art facility and students that work in healthcare teams from day one are what make it unique. We go inside this institution to find out firsthand the benefits students attain.
Rosalind Franklin University of Medicine and Science, located near the shores of Lake Michigan in northern Illinois, has been educating forward-thinking healthcare professionals for 100 years.
When did this start?
In 2011, the university opened its newest program, the College of Pharmacy.
Now that we have added the College of Pharmacy to the Rosalind Franklin curriculum, we are educating students in almost all the health professions. And our other colleges include the Chicago Medical School, the College of Health Professions, the Dr. William M. Show College of Pediatric Medicine, and the School of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies.
Starting a College of Pharmacy at an existing health science university has really made it easy for us to integrate the students into the other programs and with the other programs.
We are going to be giving you some medicine to help.
Every year, students from each of the university's colleges come together in small learning groups.
If you look at the monitor, you can see his heart has an irregular beat.
By working in interprofessional teams, students learn their role in patient care and gain respect for how they each impact the future of healthcare.
Our unique interprofessional approach prepares tomorrow's healthcare leaders to understand each other's professions, and it provides our students with the ability to work in that healthcare team. And pharmacists play a direct role on that team. This leads to better patient-centered care, and patient-centered care is what this university is all about.
When we're talking about the patient and not the disease itself, it makes us better healthcare providers.
The curriculum at Rosalind Franklin is very integrated and interprofessional, and so having the pharmacist added to the team gives a unique and new perspective.
Here are your test strips.
Since the College of Pharmacy opened its doors in August 2011, students have been learning how to work in interprofessional teams in brand new classrooms and simulation labs.
Our Education and Evaluation Center helps students work on mastering their clinical skills.
They engage in standardized patient encounters, they engage in simulated activities that help them with their patients, their clinical problem solving with their patients, but also with other providers when they work together as teams.
The College of Pharmacy at Rosalind Franklin University boasts a student-faculty ratio of 10-1. A small class size allows professors to develop a strong mentoring relationship with their students. That means when a student needs a little more training in order to understand a concept, their mentors make sure they get it.
Recommendation, what we might want to push to them now?
During experiential rotations, students will have the opportunity to come along with me as a clinical pharmacy specialist. My practice site is pretty progressive in that as a clinical pharmacy specialist, I can collaborate with physicians under a scope of practice agreement. So I have the opportunity to prescribe medications and truly manage a patient's pharmacotherapy. Students will be integrated into this, assisting me and working together to collaborate on a patient's therapy.
Being located in Northern Illinois near some very large pharmaceutical companies really gives our students a unique opportunity.
These pharmaceutical giants offer rotations and internships that can lead to career opportunities for Rosalind Franklin University students.
Our students are tomorrow's healthcare leaders, and our mission for our college is to prepare the students with the best possible education. I can hardly wait until I see what our graduates will accomplish.
The American Pharmacists Association, the largest and oldest pharmacists association, is working in collaboration with many other healthcare organizations to shape the future of pharmacy. These associations say they are shaping tomorrow's pharmacy models by advancing healthcare trends and improving practice initiatives today.
There's a whole host of opportunities for pharmacy. It's just exploding, the opportunities for pharmacy. Some of the things that are going on, pharmacogenomics, medical homes, accountable care organizations, REMS, electronic health records. The future's in our hands.
One key area APHA and other stakeholder organizations are focusing on to improve outcome and reduce costs is the medical homes model of healthcare.
So a patient comes into a medical home, they see the primary care provider. If the primary care provider decides that this patient needs to be referred to physical therapy, there'll be a physical therapist in the medical home. Pharmacists are the medication experts on the team. Chronic conditions have to be managed for years. Who better than the person that knows the most about medications to take the ball and then manage that in conjunction with the other members of the healthcare team? And if you pay the providers by outcomes, rather than a fee for service, these incentives are aligned.
Take a deep breath.
APHA believes as those cost savings are realized, ACO payment models need to be utilized to ensure those savings benefit the entire healthcare system.
You're providing good care, good quality outcomes, and you save money to the system, you will share in the savings. So you don't have to give all the money back to the government. Pharmacists, perfect place to be there, but we're not included in the statute. So what we need pharmacists to be doing is raising their hand and saying, I can get in the game. I can help you guys save a lot of money.
As new healthcare models are rolled out, APHA and its partner associations are working with the FDA to craft new REMS risk evaluation and mitigation strategies.
What we've done is really served as a resource to advocate for improvements to the program so that there's more standardization of those programs as they're implemented and as we put them into practice.
APHA believes pharmacists are an underused resource that can greatly reduce patient complications and costs during transitions of care.
Patients get discharged from the hospital. They're given a half-gallon baggie full of meds. They mess up taking the medications, and we wonder why they're back in the hospital within 30 days.
One thing the APHA Foundation is working on is helping support applications through the CMS Innovation Center for the Community-Based Community Care Transitions Program, which will help demonstrate the valuable role that pharmacists have in this area.
Optimizing patient outcomes is also the goal of the emerging field of personalized medication treatments.
Pharmacogenomics is personalized medicine. Many medications now have what they call biomarkers that indicate how a patient will respond based upon a certain genotype. And what pharmacists can help to do is to work with the other healthcare professionals on the patient's care team to interpret the patient's genotype along with those medications to determine the most effective and obviously cost-effective as well as treatment-effective way we can treat an individual patient.
Stakeholders also believe increasing electronic health records access will also improve quality of care and lead to more savings.
We've been working with other healthcare providers and other organizations to help develop the standardized electronic health record. It's not just a matter of whether you're going to do it, it's when you are going to be connected into these systems. There will be no way to provide patient care services, whether it's medication therapy management or immunizations or any type of health and wellness type of services if the pharmacist is not connected into the electronic health record services.
For more than 85 years, University of Connecticut School of Pharmacy has distinguished itself by educating leaders in pharmacy and the pharmaceutical sciences. In 2007, the University of Connecticut's Urban Service Track was developed as a response to the changing health climate and landscape in Connecticut. Let's take a closer look at the University of Connecticut's Urban Service Track program.
Oral screening exam, starting on the outside. Your interactions with patients start when they're down the hall.
You're looking for asymmetry, tenderness, swelling.
Swelling, often the soft palate will be a little swollen and everything will be sort of pushed to the other side. That's a medical emergency.
Oh, yeah.
You know, for a number of reasons. A, because people can stop breathing.
The reason for starting an urban service track was complex. We obtained some relatively modest funding, and with those dollars we initiated an interprofessional track within the schools of medicine, nursing, pharmacy, dental medicine, and now social work. That was probably about 6 or 7 years ago, and the rest is history.
Started in 2007, this 2-year add-on program runs concurrently with the main curriculum and provides its scholars with enhanced learning opportunities.
I'm coming in, I'm complaining of, the fact that I can't swallow my pills because my stomach hurts. And what other information do you need to get from me?
Okay. Oh, onset. When did it start? P, provocation. What brought it on? What were you doing?
At the different learning retreats and through the different outreach activities, through all of the different curricular components, our urban service track scholars get introduced to the different vulnerable populations. These include children, the elderly, veterans, patients living with HIV, the homeless, immigrants and refugees, just to give a few examples.
The number of community-based field activities has also grown exponentially to accommodate the number of scholars and their interests.
Being in the Urban Service Track program has been tremendous in enhancing my knowledge of the primary care.
Learning retreats and community activities that are provided by the Urban Service Track exposes our nursing students earlier on to the issues that affect the urban and underserved community.
Pretty much wherever you go, whatever you're doing, breathing, living in urban service track, it's interdisciplinary and it's interprofessional.
These urban health scholars work as a team to learn to solve challenging issues of healthcare in urban areas.
If you have a patient that has diabetes, oral health impacts their diabetes. Diseases go, one impacts the other. You can't separate them out. Urban Service Track integrates interprofessional learning amongst the students in multiple ways. One of the first ways is with our learning retreats, where we have students from all the different schools, all representations, coming together, learning about vulnerable and underserved populations, and learning new clinical skills at those retreats as well, side by side.
And I'm particularly impressed by the health policy aspect of UST. Every single time we discuss a case together, it always comes up to health policy and how important that is. And I think in the trenches doing medicine every day, you can sometimes lose sight of the big picture.
There are a lot of older adults in Connecticut that don't know that Medicaid covers their dental. They just think they can't get care.
Hopefully the reformation of our dysfunctional healthcare system is going to push us as a healthcare system to better coordinate what we do and really to make it easier for all of us on the team to communicate, to access other services and really to keep that patient really in the center of what we're doing.
And so they put me in the very environment I wanted to be in anyway. And so they provide the opportunities. They're the gateway. They give students the opportunities and to have these passions reinvigorated. And so I just really appreciate Urban Service Track for kind of taking the passion that I had inside of me and showing me how to actually act upon that passion in a productive way.
Rexam is one of the biggest consumer packaging companies in the world. Its healthcare division's highly automated facilities produces state-of-the-art packaging for the healthcare industry. All of Rexam's prescription products are manufactured here in the U.S. and are held to the highest quality standards. Let's see what's behind the Rexam healthcare motto, "We put patients first."
Rexam is one of the largest consumer packaging companies in the world. With more than 100 manufacturing facilities in over 20 countries, Rexam is a leader in custom and standard plastic packaging, focused on delivering exceptional customer value.
Rexam's been producing prescription packaging for pharmacy for over 100 years.
Rexam is in every pharmacy in the United States with a lot of different packages. We have insulin pens, ophthalmics, we do vials, of course. We touch every pharmacy in the United States, and we're very proud to be a supplier to that.
Based on Rexam's proven product performance, that is the reason why customers continue to come back and use Rexam.
We distribute Rexam product because we believe it to be the gold standard of vials in the industry. It's by far the vial that most others compare themselves to.
I feel that Rexam is used by our customers solely for a fact of quality. We produce the best quality package in the marketplace. Our motto is putting patients first, and we truly believe that every package that leaves these walls is that standard.
Rexam's highly automated production facility in Berlin, Ohio, focuses on manufacturing packaging for the healthcare industry.
Computer-integrated manufacturing is what we call SIM in the facility. We actually monitor the cycles through a machine base. When you're looking at millions and millions of cycles on a 24-hour period, we have machines that do that for us. So it's controlled very tightly within our specifications that are established in the plant.
The guidelines are they must be both child-resistant and senior-friendly. They have to meet USP and CPSC requirements.
We pride ourselves in making sure that everything we do here is going to meet that, so we'll take the extra steps to do the extra testing, go above and beyond to make sure we're giving the best possible product to the market.
All of Rexam's prescription medicine packaging products are made in the U.S. and are held to the highest quality standards, including USP 671.
USP 671, it's the containers testing. It's got to meet MVTR, which is moisture vapor transmission rate, which is the passage of H2O through a barrier. And it also has to be light transmission, which USP requirement on that is less than 10% on the light. So it's got to be both a light and tight container.
As far as what we do in-house, we meet and regulate everything internally, so we're always above the standards.
And so for peace of mind, it's much, much nicer to use Rexam over the years. And we have used Rexam exclusively in 3 of our stores for the 30-some years that we've been in business.
We have highly sophisticated measuring equipment that takes care of critical dimensions, T-diameter, stuff that would affect the functionality of the package. So we perform those on a daily basis to make sure that we're in compliance with those as well.
Rexam's screw-lock and one-click packages comply with pharmaceutical manufacturer requirements for dispensing.
But the biggest benefit has been the one-click. The seniors love the one-clicks because of the adaptability. The one-click was so different when it first came out, because we got such positive input from the senior part of our clientele, which is a big part of our clientele. You can open it up much easier if you're impaired with arthritis or something, but you can also turn it upside down and then have it be a screw-on.
In my view, Rexam has 3 fundamentals that are the key to our success. Number 1 is the capacity of supply. Customers can rely on Rexam's products being on time and in full. Secondly, the regulatory assurance that Rexam products meet are very important to the customers that we service. And finally, with the introductions of robotic platforms and technology, the Rexam products are the best performance in those type of new technologies. The
The University of Kansas School of Pharmacy is an established research institution. Whether students pursue careers in pharmacy practice, research, industry, or academia, KU Pharmacy School students have exposure and access to respected and accomplished pharmaceutical scientists. The pharmacy school also boasts a new state-of-the-art facility that allows students 24-hour access.
Upon entering the KU School of Pharmacy's brand new building, you're taken back in time.
In the early days, this fountain was not only for enjoying a sweet-tasting drink, but doctors would send patients by with prescriptions for tonics.
And while the pharmacy school pays homage to the roots of the profession, its focus is on the future of pharmacy.
We have one of the top faculties in the United States. You will be exposed to some of the top researchers in the United States in your classrooms. We also have practitioners that are outstanding leaders in pharmacy.
Well, the students in the School of Pharmacy here, they get not only trained by pharmacists, they get trained by people with very broad backgrounds, chemists, biologists, physical chemists, organic chemists. And so all of these people bring their expertise into the curriculum, makes for a very broad experience, which these students can carry on in their profession and hopefully benefit from that.
Not only do they expect you to keep up with current research in the pharmacy field, but they also expect you to learn what you're going to need to know when you get out into the field to help the patients basically get the best care they can.
KU faculty have also responded to the renaissance of botanicals used by the public.
And the combination of drugs and supplements might be harmful. So the pharmacist has to have information about what are the drug botanical interactions. I was able to have a medicinal plant garden close to the building, and this garden is now an element for teaching and for practice with pharmacy students.
In addition to strong research, the KU School of Pharmacy is also addressing the state shortage of pharmacists with its distance program.
This is our Network Operations Center here at the School of Pharmacy. The top left is our Wichita FAR site, and the bottom picture is what we're shipping out to those sites.
And in addition to technology to broadcast the classroom, there are rooms where students participate in simulated real-world settings.
Just because a student has a 4.0 or perfect grades in all their exams doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a good pharmacist in real life. And so by utilizing these rooms in an actual standardized format with real-life scenarios, we can see not only how much knowledge the students have obtained, but how they are able to apply that in real-life situations.
And the dean took a leadership role in designing the new school to ensure it meets all of the students' needs.
In our new facility, provided facilities for the students to eat. There's a cafeteria, there's a coffee shop. They have a place, a locker room, if they so choose to work out or spend a longer period of time here. They can actually take a shower here. There is a nice lounge for them to sit in and relax in. And throughout the building we have study areas that they can sit and study, and we have various seating arrangements so that they can choose what's comfortable for them.
You know, anybody that comes to the facility and just walks around, I think even myself, I was in awe of what we have. And you know, I'm so proud to know that we have this today. You know, no doubt we have the credibility around the country as far as the School of Pharmacy with our reputation. But now we finally have a building and facilities that's commensurate with the education and the reputation that the School of Pharmacy here at KU has.
As the largest pharmacist group in the nation, the APHA can be an important resource for its members. We asked the association staffers how they think members can best learn all the APHA has to offer.
The best way that you can find out all that APHA has to offer is to go to our website,
www.pharmacist.com.
It's got tools,
a wealth of resources, volunteer opportunities,
and access to current information of what's going on in healthcare as well as in pharmacy.
You can drill down specifically to areas of interest.
If you're interested in patient care, I'd highly encourage you to visit MTM Central on pharmacist.com.
The best way to learn what all APHA has to offer, I think, takes time. It takes some commitment to being involved.
Come to the APHA annual meeting.
Finding a mentor within the system, I think would help you as well.
To get the things that you're looking for to help you in practice.
Just stay curious. The need for lifelong learning is really a major attribute and one of those things, those characteristics of happy people.
Use those tools, submit questions, and network with your colleagues so that you can become the best practitioner you can.
The impact of an innovative practice model in pharmacy is improved health outcomes for patients while saving healthcare dollars. USC School of Pharmacy faculty and students work diligently every day in safety net clinics to produce pioneering and stellar results. This fertile environment not only educates students and residents, it offers valuable research opportunities as well.
Developing innovative practice models provides an excellent way to advance the pharmacy profession while improving patient care.
Innovation that doesn't save money is not a solution we can afford in healthcare today. Look at diabetes. Major epidemic in the United States, goes right along with obesity rates. We spend $1 in every $5 in healthcare on diabetes. And when you look at the national report card on how well we do, we hit our target about half the time. That's a lot of money being wasted on a disease state that is controllable with proper use of medications.
USC Pharmacy School participation in safety net clinics is just one area seeing stellar results. Students also gain unique experience from working in this type of environment.
In a safety net clinic, their role is really focused on improving the health care for those individuals. I think they're seeing a lot more variety of the kinds of roles that pharmacists can play. I think they're seeing the real problems that occur with people accessing affordable medications.
Another innovative practice model is the travel medicine clinic.
Somewhere around only about 5% of people actually go see a healthcare professional before they go off on their trip. So there's a huge group of people that could benefit from this service. What they're looking to do, of course, is to bring back great pictures and great memories. But unfortunately, sometimes they bring back souvenirs they didn't want to, in terms of infectious diseases, for example. And so what we do is provide the medications and the counseling and the supplies that they'll need to stay safe while they travel abroad.
At the HIV/AIDS clinic for women and children, the pharmacist works as part of an interdisciplinary healthcare team providing medication therapy management.
So this clinic in and of itself is very unique in that it serves HIV-infected and HIV-affected patients. And having a pharmacist on the team is a unique thing because a lot of HIV/AIDS clinics don't have a clinical pharmacist. And having me here means that as a patient comes in, I can automatically know if there's going to be drug interactions or if adherence is a problem. I mean, we can catch it that day.
The interdisciplinary approach is also utilized in the innovative geriatric assessment program.
Well, I was very happy with the role of the pharmacist in the gap care because I took the knowledge that I gained from him and took it back to my doctor in Long Beach, and he actually then changed my medication. That was a very important thing to learn.
USC was also the only school of pharmacy to participate in the APHA Diabetes 10-City Challenge, a program that was so successful at USC, it continues today. Pharmacists work with patients with diabetes to help manage medications and other issues that will help patients reach their therapeutic goals.
And it's still endorsed by the university self-insured medical plan because it works. We've seen great clinical outcomes, economic outcomes, and quality of life outcomes.
These programs not only educate students, they also expand the role of the pharmacist through innovative practice models.
Knowing that every person is different, having one experience with one patient is going to be different from having it with another patient. That's definitely going to help me as a future pharmacist.
The healthcare organization that is now Kaiser Permanente began at the height of the Great Depression with a single inventive young surgeon and a 12-bed hospital in the middle of the Mojave Desert. Today, Kaiser Permanente is one of the nation's largest not-for-profit health plan providers, serving more than 8.9 million members.
We first began our journey in developing clinical pharmacy services some 20 years ago, and we began by placing clinical pharmacy specialists in our primary care medical offices, working next to our primary care physicians and nurses.
At one of the clinics that embraces this healthcare model in Denver, Colorado, a doctor and a pharmacist work side by side with patients.
We've tried 5 different pain medications, none of them seem to work, and so we're trying to figure out what our next best medication choice might be.
We can definitely help you with that. So what medicines has she tried?
Here at Kaiser, Colorado, I am integrated into the medical office. My actual office is housed between internal medicine and family medicine, so we're kind of in the perfect location for supporting the physicians.
One of the key benefits of having a pharmacist on board is the openness to immediate doctor-patient-pharmacist communication.
We probably need to start slow on any medication for you.
I know that she is working together with my primary care doctor and vice versa. They're working together. I know that they're working together. So that is very comforting.
We work with clinical pharmacists in a couple different ways. One is they help us manage people with chronic conditions, so people with hypertension or high cholesterol, they will actually just manage those patients a lot of times.
I think that the pharmacy profession is going to evolve rapidly in the provision of clinical services. We first must make sure that they're sustainable and scalable, and that they are affordable services.
So the more that we can augment primary care, primary prevention, and secondary prevention with clinical pharmacists, the better. And so we will not have enough family medicine and physicians and internists to take care of all the patients who will have health insurance. So having these programs with clinical pharmacists running hypertension clinics, lipid clinics, anticoagulation clinics is really a great way to augment the clinical care team and provide A+ care to more patients without having to rely on more physicians.
Ultimately, it is the patient who benefits, with more services provided in less time.
Tell me about it.
So I have a 75-year-old gentleman who is on simvastatin 80 milligrams and amlodipine, and with the new FDA recommendations, I need to look at alternatives for him. The Clinical Pharmacy Cardiac Risk Program is specific to the Colorado region of Kaiser Permanente. The service that we provide at the Cardiac Risk Service is very personalized for each patient. Each pharmacist has their own panel of 900 patients that they get to develop a relationship with, build rapport and trust over time.
And this is Morgan at Kaiser's Cardiac Risk Service. I was calling about your cholesterol results from yesterday. The Cardiac Risk Service manages the cardiovascular risk factors for patients who have established heart disease and stroke.
They have monitored my behavior, monitored my medication, and monitored the results of medication and blood tests and so forth.
There's a lot of information in here because this encompasses the patient's entire medical record. So there are a lot of things I'm looking at. I'm looking at doctor's visits, so it could be a variety of specialties, whether it's cardiology or neurology or the primary care doctors or the endocrinologist. I can see all kinds of things.
She is able to direct the best form of treatment to keep me well and happy, as they've done for 22 years.
I think the clinical pharmacy specialists in our clinics, and as well as the ones who help us centrally, have developed a lot of trust with the physicians over the years, and that's kind of hard to do. In medical school and residency, as physicians, we're sort of trained that we own the care, we're accountable, but the clinical pharmacy specialists have really earned that. They've proven to be highly competent, highly trained, caring team members, and our physicians here at Kaiser Permanente really trust them.
I think we're on the same page as what the goals of care are, so that's good.
The University of New England's College of Pharmacy is educating the pharmacists that are ready to be part of a team. They are intellectually curious in the classroom, laboratory, and practice. And UNE students have an entrepreneurial spirit, enrolled in one of the newest pharmacy schools in the U.S., where the first class of 100 students will graduate in 2013.
Established in 2008, the University of New England's College of Pharmacy is located in Portland, Maine.
Hospitals and pharmacies would want a UNE pharmacist on their team because we believe that these pharmacists will be those that are committed to providing care to their patients and their patients' families, are those who would be pharmacists who would give service to the community where they work, where they live, they would advance practice.
The direction of pharmacy in the future is going to be away from simply counting pills and handing that product to the customer to what we call medication therapy management. And that's actually working with patients to help monitor their medications, to help monitor their health status.
Our curriculum also challenges our students to ask new paradigms, how I can improve team care. How can I be a leader in that team care? And I think that's something that's very special about the College of Pharmacy here, is that our students have embraced this concept that they need to be a leader as a part of a team.
Students work in a new building and labs where the focus is on research and scholarly activities.
Research is absolutely critical. It's critical, obviously, for discovering new therapies, for understanding how to make existing therapies better, for understanding side effects that patients might have, that pharmacists are often counseling those patients on how to minimize those side effects. So it's critical in terms of patient care. It's also critical for our students in terms of integrating what we teach them in the classroom, helping them better understand what those drugs do that they are giving to patients, and counseling patients on how to use them.
We have such great interprofessional relationships between the individual faculty members. We have such good interprofessional relationships between our faculty and our staff. And we have that interprofessional relationships between our faculty, staff, and students. And that's really what I think makes UNE an exceptional place. It's a place where people care that you're here.
The welcoming community is also an asset students recognize.
Just meeting the people around the campus, they were all very welcoming. From the security guards all the way up to the professors, I thought they were fantastic and very open and friendly and everything like that. So really, I just felt very at home here, and I was excited to start this new program.
What really got me was the warmth of the people here. I think that's what distinguishes UNE from any other schools.
And students are expected to be part of the community.
What we want to instill as part of our values in our students is not only that you're professionally competent, but that you're compassionate about the patients that you serve and the communities that you serve.
You can't just go through kind of with blinders on and you know, in a program like this, just try and plow through and then, you know, try and get to the next hurdle and achieve that, and then get to the next hurdle and achieve that. You've got to see what's going on around you. So working and volunteering in the community, you get in tune with your demographic.
Every College of Pharmacy turns out students who have to know the required material. We want them to know not only the material, but the skills that it takes to be seen by the public as a member of the single or second most trusted profession year after year in surveys that are done.
I was just totally able to picture myself grow with the school, and I had really big faith, even though it's a new school, that the school's gonna really make it big.
Staying on the cutting edge of technology has long been a fact of life for America's pharmacists. In 2011, the APHA surveyed members to find out just what computer technology they owned. Nearly 60% of pharmacists said they owned a desktop computer or Windows laptop. Just over 10% said they owned a Mac laptop. When it comes to smartphones, some 23% said they own iPhones, and about 16% own Android phones. Technology ownership rates are pretty similar between independent and chain store pharmacists, except when it comes to iPads. 13% of chain pharmacists said they own an iPad, but 21% of independents do. And when it comes to e-book readers, the Kindle leads the Nook by about 4-1, with around 12% ownership. University of Oklahoma College of Pharmacy students are trained with a team-based approach and have access to state-of-the-art technology not found at other schools. Dean Jolene Drogalis says these qualities make the University of Oklahoma a prescription for success for pharmacy students.
We pride ourselves on our team-based approach to learning, where our faculty and our students work together to create a dynamic learning environment.
The University of Oklahoma College of Pharmacy has an extremely small student-to-faculty ratio. At present, there is one faculty member for every 7 students.
That foundational knowledge that they gain in the classroom is really important, but for that long-term retention of knowledge, they're going to have to be able to practice it.
With only a handful of students in a learning activity,
You get a lot of quality practice experience. We had full-time access to our instructor.
So if I only have 1 or 2 students, then I can give a nice rich experience to them and they can see and apply, learn, mess up, go do it better the next time.
I truly believe that allowed us to develop our clinical decision-making skills.
If you have any questions.
Today's pharmacy student has to be well versed in the use of technology. We provide the best and most sophisticated technology on both campuses to facilitate that learning, as well as a more intimate one-on-one learning experience on each campus.
We're really proud of our mentoring program, which pairs P1 students with upperclassmen.
The mentoring program helped me identify strengths that I had not previously recognized in myself, and then I was able to help other students mentor them to develop the skills that they needed to become leaders.
I believe most students come into pharmacy and the College of Pharmacy because they want to make a difference. They want to make a difference in their patients' lives, helping improve their health and well-being.
You're maybe a little nervous.
And that's one of the reasons that we've implemented the RX for Fitness program here at the college.
RX for Fitness is a student-led initiative. We try to encourage healthy living for everyone on campus.
We teach patients that a change in diet and exercise can dramatically improve your quality of life.
The University of Oklahoma College of Pharmacy is equipped with specialized research facilities that offer students several unique training experiences.
We are the only college of pharmacy in the country that has operational nuclear pharmacy on site. What it does is it helps us train the students in the use of nuclear medicines and also allows us to distribute over 500 radiopharmaceuticals every day to the sites around Oklahoma City.
Our researchers are working on a wide range of highly innovative and advanced research programs that are very closely aligned with the research interests at the university. In particular, these are cancer, diabetes, infectious diseases, neuroscience, and measuring outcomes of medication use in clinical settings.
Students can take advantage of more specialized tracks of study while pursuing their pharmacy degree. They include psychiatry, nuclear pharmacy, pediatrics, and leadership. Other students opt to add graduate-level studies at the same time.
Because we are on a major university campus, there's a lot of opportunity for graduate students to learn the process of critical thinking, be independent thinkers, and learn the scientific approach to solving problems critical to human health.
The dual PharmD MS degree will open up career options that wouldn't be available for me with just a PharmD degree. During the program, I learned the value of careful research writing, learned the scientific method and peer review process, and developed my critical thinking and problem-solving skills.
The University of Oklahoma is on the cutting edge of education, research, and technology. The students we're educating today will transform drug discovery and medication use to improve people's lives.
This is an exciting time to be a pharmacist. Today's pharmacists can choose any number of areas of expertise, and that is increasing the choices and employment opportunities. The American Pharmacists Association is working to make pharmacists more successful by offering a wealth of tools and programs that help make them stronger players in today's marketplace.
APHA says today's pharmacists have more access to specialized training than ever before, and these skills make them more valuable healthcare professionals.
Where are you in your practice setting? Where are you in your career? We help you identify the education that you need as an individual and not what maybe your colleagues need. We have 3 very successful certificate training programs, and they're on the topics of immunizations, diabetes, and medication therapy management. These programs offer advanced training to pharmacists, whether they are in school or out in their careers.
The Board of Pharmacy Specialties was established in 1976 as an autonomous division of APHA to determine which pharmacists were qualified to provide patient care at advanced practice levels. Currently, BPS offers 6 specialties: ambulatory care, nuclear pharmacy, nutrition support, oncology, pharmacotherapy, and psychiatric pharmacy. Becoming BPS board certified enables pharmacists to differentiate and affirm their knowledge and skills in the specialty area. Board certification prepares pharmacists to take on expanded patient care roles, to serve as members of multidisciplinary healthcare teams, and to also show other healthcare professionals, employers, and insurers that they have the knowledge and skill in the specialty areas.
All of these APHA programs are designed to enhance a pharmacist's skills and to help improve patient quality of care.
APHA is a member of the Pharmacy Quality Alliance, an entity that is working to develop quality measures for pharmacists. This is a really important area right now in the healthcare system. The term that is being used a lot is a value-based healthcare system, where there's a strong emphasis on looking at both the quality of the care that's delivered and the cost of the healthcare services in an effort to attain the highest quality, most economical healthcare in this country.
All of these specialized skills and tools are leading to a wide diversity of professional practice opportunities for today's pharmacists.
We're seeing a lot of different emerging roles. We're seeing pharmacists being hired more and more into physician office practices as some of the coordinated care models like medical homes and accountable care organizations evolve. We're also seeing the area of pharmacogenomics, where patients' medication therapies are tailored based on their genomic profile, as an area where pharmacists can play a significant role. It's an exciting time to be a pharmacist because there's so many new and emerging opportunities for pharmacists in the patient care realm, in the government and regulatory agency area, in managing safe distribution practices. And the great thing about APHA is we have programs and services to meet the needs of pharmacists across the spectrum.
When you ask students why they wanted to become a pharmacist, most of the time they tell you it's because they wanted to help people. From their first day in the classroom, APHA gives them an opportunity to do just that. The APHA Academy of Student Pharmacists offers a number of patient care and community outreach initiatives, from the Heartburn Awareness Challenge to Operation Diabetes, Operation Immunization, Operation Heart, and our newest project, Generation RX. There really is an opportunity for everyone to become involved.
The College of Pharmacy at the University of Utah leads the way in producing cutting-edge medicines for epilepsy and other convulsant diseases. Today, the National Institute of Health ranks the school third in the nation for research productivity.
At the University of Utah College of Pharmacy, service learning is prioritized. Students have a chance to gain extracurricular skills in service to people in the greater Salt Lake community.
We are one of the smallest colleges of pharmacy in the country. We're able to offer students a very personalized education. We have approximately 1-to-1 faculty to student ratio in each of the Pharm D classes.
I've been in the College of Pharmacy for a number of years. I've also been the course master for this class, which is called Community Agency Practicum. What the students get out of that is it reinforces perhaps their human being skills and the ability to relate to someone one-on-one as a human rather than just as a health professional. We can lecture about that in class, but experiencing that firsthand is really much more helpful.
The client had severe MS and he wanted a garden. He really wanted a garden, and so we had students come in and dig a garden and help grow vegetables for him and harvest them and then cook them for them. With student volunteers, with the service learning students, we were able to provide things that are huge in terms of their quality of life.
Caseworkers try to help set up some support for clients that really might transition to a nursing home, but they have a home already and they just need a little bit of support, and then they're able to stay in their homes. So it's a really great program. Working with community care transitions was a really important part of my pharmacy education. It was an opportunity for me to be able to, instead of just expecting everything given to me, for me to be a good pharmacist, it was a time for me to learn how to give.
There are more than 8 different programs in place for service learning at the University of Utah College of Pharmacy. Students may choose the institution best suited to them, and many continue their volunteerism beyond the college requirements.
I think the most important thing is learning to deal with different kinds of people
and to also be able to help teach and educate them no matter what the subject is. In our case, it was English, but as a pharmacist, it's going to be in drug therapy and how to use their medications and what to look for and what to expect. And I think that's a really important skill for a pharmacist to have.
Horizonte is a real diverse school. We provide services for the youth and for their parents, but many community members. We're a one-stop center, and so we have partnership with over 50 agencies here in Salt Lake and in Utah. We have a high-need, primarily at-risk student population at our school. We have students from over 70 countries speaking over 80 languages. And for the pharmacy students to be able to interact with them, it's just been a wonderful experience for them. We're well known within the immigrant and refugee population. We're a safe place to go. They trust us. It's helped because in our classes that at times are larger, we have another person to go in, fluent in English, able to practice English with them, either one-on-one or in a small group. There's more interaction for them. That's been real helpful.
I did a clerkship at the Blanding Family Practice Clinic. Some patients would come in just to see the pharmacy students, and so it was really exciting to see them recognize that we could provide a service that nobody else did, and they wanted to meet with us.
The reason that it's so important to us is that it's really one of the key issues of our mission and also our vision to be the leading college of pharmacy.
When it comes to their public reputation, America's pharmacists stand out. A recent Gallup poll found that 73% of Americans rate pharmacists' honesty and ethical standards as high or very high, second only to nurses among all professions surveyed. Other high-scoring professions include members of the military, doctors, and grade school teachers. Among the lowest, you guessed it, car salespeople. The University of South Florida College of Pharmacy is a new college burgeoning within an already well-established institution of health sciences. The research conducted in the pharmacy program is aimed at bridging the gaps from the laboratory to patient.
One of the main things we're trying to accomplish now is building an advanced practitioner for the future. We feel that we have an enormous amount of resources here at the University of South Florida with the College of Medicine, College of Public Health, College of Nursing, Physical Therapy, Biomedical Sciences that can bring all of the resources together, both in terms of faculty and students, to build an advanced pharmacy practitioner for the future. So a student coming into our program right now will be prepared to move into the future and not only be a part of healthcare in the future, but actually begin to transform the role of the pharmacist in the future of healthcare.
So we are growing quickly, and we have got, I think, more than 30 full-time faculties. We have set up 14 research laboratories. We plan to set up a PhD next year, master and a PhD program next year. I think medicine in the future should be personalized. Personalized medicine should be the future. We have to say, give your patient, you cannot just use the same dosage or same drug.
Pharmacogenomics, the study of genetic variations' effects in medicine, is the cutting edge of pharmacy research today. The University of South Florida's College of Pharmacy is one of the nation's schools to integrate the study of pharmacogenomics into its curriculum.
This is the cutting edge. This is one of the most exciting fields that are out there. This is an amazing time to be in because we're going from this kind of work only happening in the laboratory to actually having real true-to-life clinical application, so it actually can impact patients by the information that we get by doing these kinds of research.
Aside from the pharmacogenomics endeavor, University of South Florida is also working on mainstreaming other innovative medical technologies for the benefit of clinicians and patients. Nanomedicine is one of those new technologies.
We feel that there may be an opportunity to have nanotechnology and nanomedicine come together in a way in building brand new methods of drug delivery, not just in the cancer realm, but even in chronic disease states. And we're building that program right now. We will be building a graduate program in that area in the future, and we're very excited about the potential for where our role will be in generating brand new technologies for our country and others around the world.
Not all research is restricted to the lab. In fact, another noteworthy area of research at USF can be found in the form of a medicinal herbal garden.
Here, we're very fortunate to have what we consider to be probably one of the top herbal researchers, probably in the entire world, on our faculty right now, our chair of our pharmaceutical sciences department.
This is a turmeric, very, very commonly used by Indian people. Sometimes we use red sage to extract the oil to treat minor diseases, the small pains, inflammation, cold. And I know there are more than 400 pharmaceutical companies. They produce red sage related products. So we are pretty interested in how herbal medicines work and whether it's safe to use herbal medicines or combining herbal medicines with prescribed drugs.
We have particular expertise in looking at natural products. The public, they're asking for more herbal products. The public is really clamoring for much more natural products in the way of herbal medications, things that won't cause an enormous amount of side effects that they have more confidence in. And we're looking at now doing actual research to really predict and determine how these herbal products will exist and work in the body, hopefully for the betterment of improved health for patients.
The APHA is ready when you are, especially if you need drug information. Make sure you have bookmarked aphadruginfoline.com. The new digital website keeps you informed about all the important studies and clinical literature. The members-only resource can also be downloaded as either an iPhone or iPad app for 99 cents. You'll have access to important information about new drugs and indications, alerts and warnings. Download the app or visit the website to stay up to date. Duquesne University's Milan School of Pharmacy is creating a new cancer-fighting drug that is fast, tracked by the federal government. It improves chronic disease management and could create one of the wonder drugs of tomorrow.
Dr. Alim Gangji, a research scientist and distinguished professor of medicinal pharmacy, has created 3 new promising compounds that don't appear to have the issues other drugs on the market have.
Cancer treatment has come a long way, particularly chemotherapeutic agents, which are drugs that are used to treat cancer. However, there are some major problems associated with it, and one of those problems is the toxicity of the compounds that are used as chemotherapeutic agents. These compounds generally are not selective, so they kill both the cancer cell as well as the normal cell, and that's a serious problem. Our compounds, the ones that we have discovered, these compounds, they are extremely potent agents, so they function in very small quantities, but they're able to circumvent all of the problems we have with some major drugs like paclitaxel for the treatment of breast cancer and other cancers. So our drugs are very, very soluble in water, and so they don't need long durations of time for administration.
National Institutes of Health believe that Dr. Gangji's research is promising enough to award him a $1.3 million grant.
These compounds are like mini Trojan horses, and they actually trick the tumor into thinking that it is receiving something that is going to help build the tumor. And by the time the molecule begins to have its effect within the tumor, it actually stops the growth of the tumor.
We have researchers that are examining the effects of a neurotransmitter, dopamine for example, and how that is related to either some chronic disease states, Alzheimer's, or in chronic addiction. And so we have several researchers in the neurochemical area that are really trying to discover how those receptors are being interacted by those particular neurotransmitters and what we can do to manipulate that in order to better serve and to be able to manage those particular disease states.
A good example of the research that we carry out is our work in the pharmacy practice group at Duquesne University, where we studied the disease states of asthma and migraine headaches. And the faculty and students involved with this research are making strides in managing those diseases. The work demonstrates also the opportunity for pharmacists to play an important role in improving patient outcomes.
I think that a graduate student considering the pharmaceutical sciences would really benefit coming to a community like Duquesne University in the Graduate School of Pharmaceutical Sciences, because they would be among those that are really making a difference in healthcare.
How many questions do you get each week? Probably too many to remember. But when it comes to questions about medications, the APHA knows how many your average pharmacist answers. Results of a recent APHA survey show that 39% of pharmacists surveyed said they answered 1 to 10 questions about non-prescription medications each week. 30% answered 1 to 10 questions about prescription medications. Just 3% answered no questions about prescriptions, and just 5% answered no questions about over-the-counter medicines. At the other end of the spectrum, 6% said they answered at least 100 questions about prescription medications each week, and 3% did the same with non-prescription medications. What does it take to ensure tomorrow's pharmacists have the best possible skills and training? The Virginia Commonwealth University School of Pharmacy says in order to create top future pharmacists, it had to first rebuild its education model from the ground up.
Here at VCU, we wanted to be the leader in curricular change. The old model was typically lecture-based. It was a 50-minute lecture where the students were passive learners and the faculty were lecturers. What we did then is to take our curriculum that we had in place, totally erase it, start from the end to determine what competencies we expect our graduates to have to function in the future healthcare delivery system. What we needed to do is to not only change our curriculum, but change the environment in which the students are learning. So we invested millions of dollars into the latest technology.
A sophisticated video-audio routing system can simultaneously deliver people plus content to multiple internal and external sites. Individual team-based pod areas are available as well as larger didactic spaces. But VCU believes it's the way students are taught that really sets the school apart.
We have very little lecturing going on. We're doing a lot more team-based teaching among the faculty. All the changes in the delivery of the curriculum have come from the faculty, not from top down, but from the faculty up.
My role as a teacher has really been a transformative process through the years. I think early on in my career, I spent a lot of time preparing for class by making sure my lectures were clear and concise. I think now I view class time as sort of like Super Bowl airtime. It's valuable, and it's time that we need to use to have students engaged in activities where they're problem solving and critically thinking.
So we do a lot of hands-on, case-based activities that allow students to work as a team to apply critical thinking and problem-solving skills for real-life patient cases.
You could work with your team on the case, kind of discuss it with each other, and then you would turn back and talk as a whole class discussion about the case.
I think patient outcomes are improved because of our modular-based approach. I think having a big picture view of disease states really allows you to more effectively cater medication choices to specific patients.
With the real-life situations we give them in the lab, in their teams, they're able to develop some of the communication skills that they'll need to work as a team once they're out in the healthcare system.
VCU's recently renovated labs are equipped with all the latest teaching tools.
Sim labs give us unscripted kind of learning ability. You would be treating him, and midway through treatment they may throw you a curve that you didn't anticipate. And so you have to learn to adapt and to expect curves to be thrown at you.
What our students need to be able to do is analyze information, evaluate it, and synthesize it in order to identify, prevent, and resolve drug-related problems.
We've gotten feedback from our preceptor faculty of how better the students are prepared today than they were just a few years ago. So we have both direct and indirect evidence that the students are learning, and more importantly, they're able to use what they're learning in patient care.
It's really preparing us for where pharmacy is going in the future with a collaborative practices between doctors, nurses, pharmacists. Kind of gets us ready to engage in those group settings.
To me, we're preparing students not for their job, but for their entire career. And this is a career-building curriculum, not a job building curriculum.
Statistics show one of the biggest challenges in healthcare is getting patients to fill their prescription medications and take them correctly. WellMed Medical Management, based in San Antonio, Texas, has found a way to increase its patients' prescription fill rates, and that's just one of their many achievements. WellMed makes healthcare fun with a senior center and many other amenities that improve their patients' health.
It's open house at this WellMed clinic located in the northwest part of San Antonio, Texas.
We have open houses from September to December to bring in new patients, to hold the ones that we have, just mainly just to have fun with the seniors. They love it, love it, love it.
WellMed specializes in health care for seniors.
In the senior population, pharmaceuticals are really critical. Again, your average senior is going to have at least 3 to 4 chronic conditions. Many of them, as they get in their 80s, maybe 7, 8 chronic conditions. We see ourselves as the primary care doctors being the care coordinators, and it's really our job to make sure that all experiences that the senior has in the care delivery system are coordinated, and all people that are interacting with the patient know what's going on at all times.
And where our pharmacists have helped us primarily is looking at and defining what is really the best alternative that's available to treat and make that formulary, if you would, of medications that you would make available to patients who couldn't afford those. And you find out that very frequently a very inexpensive medication can avoid a very costly hospitalization.
What also helps is keeping patients happy. WellMed strives to do this with a unique partnership at several of their 41 clinics.
We're at the Alicia Torino Lopez Center, which is the District 6 One-Stop Center. It's a public-private partnership between the WellMed Charitable Foundation and the City of San Antonio.
Your name? Rosalinda Ramos.
Seniors have access to a multitude of resources, from free lunches to classes, and even having their art on exhibit.
Let me tell you, this place is a blessing for a lot of people here, because a lot of people say, before this place opened, I just sat in my apartment with nothing to do.
And everybody can come and work out and exercise, get yourself in shape, stay fit, so you can enjoy your grandchildren.
We have the computer classes. We have lots of friends, especially the friends and the social activity.
It's not just seniors who benefit. Their caregivers are encouraged to utilize the Caregiver SOS classes that are also no cost.
Depression and stress are incredibly high. At least 30 to 70% of all family caregivers could have a clinical diagnosis of depression.
My husband has Alzheimer's, and so it was very stressful, very stressful. I went to the caregiver class, and I didn't realize, I thought I was real strong and that I could handle it, but I didn't realize I was going down. So I brought my husband the next day, and he saw the pool tables. And he says, I want to play pool. Before that, he was like shutting down. So we try to come at least 3 days a week. And he says the center gave him back his life.
It's very rewarding for us to be able to deliver not only extra lifespan to seniors, but a lifespan that improves their quality of life during that time.
I used to be at home all bored and worried and nothing to do but just be there. Now I socialize and have a lot of friends, and I enjoy coming here every day. I look forward to it every day.
I look at life now differently, because to me coming here is like, I look forward to it every morning. Every morning I look forward to it. I don't know, it just turns me on.
Many students' expectations for learning have changed from taking in facts from lecture that are memorized to be tested. Washington State University College of Pharmacy is ready to meet these expectations by incorporating technology and challenging those who want to take responsibility in their learning.
The faculty of Washington State University College of Pharmacy takes seriously their desire to deliver many elements of their curriculum at a higher level.
Could he possibly have died of some other cause?
Focusing on developing critical thinking skills, and challenging students to develop their analytical and creative problem-solving ability to improve patient care.
We're not overemphasizing their ability to master a set of facts, so then they don't have to worry about, is this particular issue going to be probed on the exam?
Professors Brenda Bray, Katrina Schwartz, and Jennifer Robinson teach in the Applied Patient Care Laboratories. The professors act as group facilitators as the students work through real-world and hypothetical questions to achieve the best outcome for their hypothetical patients.
So they're really having to use problem-solving skills, critical thinking skills, and integrating information, synthesizing information for the care of their patients.
And the small group facilitation is really great because it allows us to feed off each other to really one student can think of one objective where another student would be able to look at something else that we've never really thought before. So in that case, the students are able to work alongside and then kind of build a synergy to come to a great conclusion or a great treatment plan for that patient.
To evaluate their higher level thinking, I give them cases to work on, and then we have real-time discussion of those cases within their teams.
It's a lot different than your average class where you're sitting there and there is a professor shouting information at you from a PowerPoint slide. I feel that we're involved in it and we are creating solutions, oftentimes that the instructor didn't even intend, and which is also in its own right correct.
Sure, anyone can read a book and learn something. Anyone can, take a class and learn a lot of facts. Facts are great and we need them. However, if you can't convey these well, if you can't convey what a patient needs to know in a way that they can understand, it's useless.
Their obligation is to take facts wherever they happen to get them from. They might remember them, or they might go retrieve them from the internet or from a textbook or somewhere else, and then weave that factual information into the solution to a problem.
Professor John White takes a slightly different approach, preferring to keep the class in a large lecture, but integrating the use of still photography and videos, human stories, and humor to keep students engaged. Professor White also has embraced new technology, the kind that will empower his students to view his lectures, captured on video at their convenience.
In my apartment, in my sweatpants, in the 6 o'clock at night, I can listen to a lecture that Dr. White recorded. So when we come into the classroom, I've already sat through the lecture online.
By the time they come to class, they're ready to hear about patients. They're ready to hear about actual cases. So some of my patients are real, some of them are historical figures. I do whatever I can to make their experience compelling.
And as we go through patient cases in class, and I'm able to stay more engaged because I have a better understanding of the material.
And why it's unique is that the student owns the learning. It's not a teacher, professor, faculty-driven learning model. It's a model where the student identifies what they need to learn and really owns it.
Started in 1919, family-owned Upshur Smith Laboratories was founded and run by a pharmacist. So let's see what's the story behind more than 90 years of innovation and tradition at this all-American company.
Upshur Smith is a product of the American dream. The company started in 1919 when Frederick Alfred Upshur Smith, an inventive research chemist, began processing digitalis to create an improved form for patients with heart conditions. The company that bears his name manufactures and markets more than 50 products, and today is run by a pharmacist.
This heritage provides Upshur Smith with a unique understanding of the important role played by the pharmacist in advancing patient care.
As an independent and privately held company, we are able to act swiftly to the ever-changing needs of the marketplace. It has been our long-standing commitment that each and every Upshur Smith employee is working to do the right thing for the benefit of the patients and healthcare professionals that we serve.
Today, Upshur Smith is focused not on more products, but the right products, serving critical needs with affordable, high-quality treatment options coupled with outstanding service and reliability.
I'm a pharmacist and I've been with Upshur Smith for more than 18 years. Upshur Smith offers a wide range of treatments, from its well-recognized portfolio of generic products to important offerings in women's health and dermatology.
These products are supported by dedicated employees at every step of the way.
This is my 13th year at Upshur Smith Laboratories. I am proud of the contribution my team and I make to manufacture the drugs that help people live better lives.
I've been a customer of Upshur Smith for 23 years, and I tell you, you won't find better quality products or better customer service anywhere in the industry.
Harnessing more than 90 years of innovation, Upshur Smith is poised to build on its formulation and clinical development expertise to improve the lives of patients suffering from central nervous system disorders.
Our vision for the future is to become a leader in providing therapies that empower people suffering from central nervous system diseases such as epilepsy and Parkinson's disease to lead healthy and productive lives.
At Upshur Smith, we're proud of our heritage and excited about a future continuing to work with pharmacists to help improve the lives of the people we serve.
What if instead of one healthcare professional focusing on your medical needs, a team of professionals work together to give you the best diagnosis and treatment possible? Western University of Health Sciences has a revolutionary program that offers that and more. As a result, students walk away with a newfound appreciation for the roles of other healthcare professions, a set of valuable life skills, and of course, some new friends.
Western University of Health Sciences, located in Pomona, California, is a pace setter in IPE, interprofessional education.
We were identifying roles,
It was important for Western University to take a stand and lead the interprofessional education movement. So the president of Western University of Health Sciences dreamed this since the 70s. And he knew that it was critical for all of the professions to work together as a team to improve patient outcomes.
The president not only had the foresight to lead in IPE, he included veterinary medicine.
Imagine the food animals that we have to deal with in our culture. So the connection between veterinary medicine and human medicine and pharmacy and all the other health professions we have, to me, is a natural it's a natural situation.
Drug residues in food animals are extremely important to society. And so knowing about what drugs we would use and dispense in a cow or in a chicken and what the fate of that drug is when that becomes part of our meal on our dinner plate is extremely important.
Western has more than 90 group study rooms for their IPE curriculum that has 3 phases, one of which is the case-based study, where the different health disciplines come together to evaluate an actual case.
If the cows are carrying some sort of pathogen, possibly, they might be transmitting that to other states.
The students are evaluating an outbreak of tuberculosis that transferred from dairy cows to humans.
I think it's fantastic that they're bringing something like food animals to IPE so that people understand the role that the veterinarian plays in going and figuring out problems that may arise that affect the human population too.
Okay. Were there any other learning issues that we want to put from this first disclosure?
Faculty sit in to facilitate learning.
The case-based course was actually designed to just bring the students together and have them have an awareness of each other. We want them to learn about, with, and from each other, the scope of practice, their position on the healthcare team, all in order to promote and provide the goal of patient-centered collaborative care.
I am a second-year pharmacy student here at Western University,
And this profession actually does put me in a center, and I do have the flexibility to move around to different disciplines in a sense, and I got exposure to different professions as well, because different professions do deal with medications, and when they prescribe a medication, let's say, I'll be there to help them with that. So it kind of drew me closer to it, and the more exposure I get to pharmacy, the more I fall in love with it, because I am able to do so many different things.
Pharmacists are in an ideal position to help patients understand the importance of their medications and how it can really improve their quality of life.
Our university is the most comprehensive health professions university in the country, with the 9 colleges we have and all the disciplines that are there, and it's very exciting. So I expect that because of this structure and because of our philosophy, we're going to provide these students with a tremendous education, and then, more importantly, in turn, they're going to care for people. And the communities will be wealthier in terms of health and wellness and so forth. That's really our major mission.
It will be interesting to see how much changes in a year. The APHA convention for 2013 is set to take place in Los Angeles, California. Make sure you're a part of it. The role of healthcare is constantly evolving across the nation, and the field of pharmacy is changing with it. At Ohio State University, faculty and staff benefit from patient-centered care, while students and residents obtain firsthand the knowledge and experience needed to be agents of change in today's healthcare environment.
Ohio State University prides itself on training its pharmacy residents to work cooperatively in an environment where all healthcare providers are viewed as equals.
The role of pharmacy and patient care is really changing. We think traditionally we've thought of the pharmacist as that at the end of the medication use process, making sure that the patient gets the right product and that they know how to use it correctly, and really kind of the last guardian of medication safety. But pharmacy is shifting more into a patient-focused care, and we're seeing them as the guardian of that medication safety at the beginning of that process, helping to ensure that the patient gets the right medication to get the right outcomes from drug therapy.
The College of Pharmacy at Ohio State University was established in 1895. Since then, the college has made significant achievements in patient care.
I chose OSU because I had such a positive experience here throughout pharmacy school. I was really looking for a residency in which I could practice in a team setting, also do teaching through the university, and be able to do research. And I believe Ohio State really fit me and what I was looking to do.
University Health Connection is a product of a collaborative effort between the leadership of the Office of Human Resources and the healthcare providers here at Ohio State University. It represents an innovative care delivery model that, with a focus on interprofessional practice, and we service the needs of the university faculty and staff. We are a single payer model. The single payer model really is very important because of the fact that the providers here don't have to change their practice styles in order to accommodate different kinds of health plans and different benefit structures.
My specialty is ambulatory care with a focus in academia. Actually, what drew me to this position is the fact that it combines both those aspects together, because I'm very interested in being a clinical faculty member. And at this position at Ohio State, they do a very good job of combining those two and really teaching me to be a clinical faculty member, which is what I want to be.
UHC is truly an interdisciplinary practice where doctors work alongside nurses and pharmacists. When a problem arises for a patient, the UHC team can handle the unexpected.
We had a patient who came in for just a regular visit, and she was new to OSU and had an appointment with our physician, with Dr. Hall, and just a regular visit, and she had described some chest pain, some chest pressure that she'd had, and we were a little concerned that it was on exertion, and we actually sent her over to get evaluated at the Ross Heart Center, and she ended up getting a stent. So she ended up going in and getting a PCI done, and so that's something that, came in, it seemed like really normal. She really was just there because she wanted refills, and it ended up, having that intervention.
The APHA is not just for working professionals. Students are the future of pharmacy, and the APHA offers them an opportunity to jumpstart their careers. APHA Director of Student Development, Crystal Atwell, explains what the association can offer pharmacy students.
Every student should want to become a member of APHA. It really gives them an opportunity to see everything in the profession because APHA represents all areas of practice. So they get a chance to develop their career skills and have networking opportunities. They get a chance for hands-on experience through our patient care projects, and they get to help become the voice of pharmacy. Students represent a very important part of the profession because they're the future of where we're going, and so they get to become advocates for their profession.
Because healthcare touches everyone's life and is linked with the broader economy, addressing health policy requires perspectives from different fields of expertise and creative research methods. The University of Southern California School of Pharmacy puts students face to face with the nation's federal healthcare reform issues, health spending, and fiscal health.
With healthcare reforms here, advocating for the pharmacy profession is more critical than ever. One way the USC Pharmacy School is doing this is by utilizing research conducted at the USC Leonard D. Schaefer Center for Health Policy and Economics.
Pharmacists have an important role to play in the healthcare system, but they have to demonstrate it. And the challenge right now is to show that they can provide value. And I think pharmacists actually can play a really important role in delivering chronic care and helping patients in ways that will substitute for really expensive and scarce physician time.
Many of our pharmacy students will start their careers as pharmacists behind the counter, but at some point in their careers they're going to be in a management position, and they're going to be in a position where they're going to start having to make decisions about formularies and about which drugs will be funded under different benefit management plans. And so the training they get at USC can help them better prepare for those job responsibilities later in their career.
Probably the most important thing to take away from working in health policy and working with economists and psychologists is that pharmacists can provide a very, very unique perspective that other clinicians don't have. We are the medication experts. We tend to look at patients and treatments very differently than how a physician handles it.
This isn't a turf issue about pharmacists versus physicians. This is about working on a team, working together to make the patient better.
Results of interprofessional care can be found in the Patient Safety and Clinical Pharmacy Services Collaborative, where physicians rely on pharmacists to manage high-risk, high-cost, complex patients.
We started with 68 safety net organizations back in 2008, I think it was. Now we have 160 in the collaborative, which doesn't sound like a huge leap, except now we're partnering with the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, and they've greatly expanded the number of entities that will have to implement clinical pharmacy services. So it really is, I believe, the most powerful force right now in this country, pushing for the promotion of clinical pharmacy services and trying to make sure that clinical pharmacists are an essential part of the healthcare team, which they need to be.
I was very excited when I saw them hands-on and visiting patients and prescribing, explaining, and making patients more comfortable with the medicines that they were receiving. And so I witnessed this firsthand, and I was very impressed, and impressed enough to suggest that we ought to be doing this elsewhere, and I'm anxious to see that take place.
Getting the word out about the value of pharmacist patient-centered care is also key.
Our dean he's had articles in well-known magazines like the Wall Street Journal, as well as Politico, as well as spending a tremendous amount of time helping educate elected officials.
You know, our school is really committed to advocacy. We think it's important that our students are exposed to these kinds of issues because it's really going to be advocacy, interaction with policymakers, doing the right kinds of research. It's really going to form what healthcare looks like in the future.
As you can see, there is a lot going on in the pharmacy industry and at the American Pharmacy Association. Whether you're headed to a career in retail or research, the APHA is dedicated to uniting the industry and charting a way through new territory. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at next year's convention.